million people to ransom. For how freaking long? For how long? I hope I'm waking up some people today. I just hope I'm waking up every one of us as a people to our responsibilities. To fix this country is a job that every one of us will have to do. And I think today's space, I will open up the floor real quick, because I really want us to really talk about this. The enemies against the working Nigeria, the enemies for a working Nigeria, the enemies that do not want Nigeria to work, because for these people, if Nigeria work, business will crumble. They don't want this country to work. They don't want to see Nigeria live. That is why for them it is difficult to increase minimum wage. It's not as if to increase the minimum wage is the problem, or that they cannot afford it, or that it is too expensive. Because if you look at the expensive, exorbitant life these guys live, to increase minimum wage is nothing. After all, you ask yourself, how many people are we in the payroll of the Nigerian federal government? Let's ask ourselves these questions. How many people did the Nigerian federal government pay? That you cannot say you cannot increase minimum wage. How much do the state? How many people are employed by the states across the country? How many people do you pay? But they do not want it, because the more poorer Nigerians are, the less we have the ability to think, the less we have ability to fend, to fight for our right, to rise up. The more poorer we are, the less educated we are, the less questions we ask them, the more they can steal, the more they can siphon money and take across the world. And their children are living exorbitant, lavish lifestyles across the world. I was in London last year and I was in a club chilling, myself. I go chill. And I saw one ex-governor's son. They just a holla name for inside club. He just throw pounds up and down. I say, ah. I say, Kai. Oh. If you say I say in Nigeria, then now. That means today outside now. Just wait them with guys. Give them better beating. Their children are living the best lives across the world. If down to permanent sec, the corruption in the country is so deep that if you see the lifestyle of a permanent secretary their children of a permanent secretary abroad, you understand why Nigeria. I can understand the sentiment of people that say Nigeria might never work. I can understand that sentiment. I can honestly, genuinely understand the sentiment of people that say Nigeria might never work. It is insane. So I would think it's going to be a collective today. I don't want to be the one that are going to detect the enemies of the working. I think we can today choose to focus on the religious leaders. I think we can choose to focus on the traditional leaders tomorrow. I think we can choose to focus on the civil society some days. I think we can choose to focus on the names, the powerful names behind the scenes that never want to be mentioned, the industry players, your top brokers, your top businessmen that enjoys maintaining status quo. I think we can focus on so many of them, but today I really want to know. Probably if Wembley Nigeria comes up with a submission, and at the end of the submission, we can ask what parts, which of them should we focus on today? And I want us, when we focus on it, we will drag that particular structure of criminality down. I really want us, as if we are shaking that table, we shake. That table will break. Big shout out to my brother Dan Bello. God bless you. I think we'll start from the religious angle, because you made a skit this evening that I just saw. I don't know if you guys watched that skit of Dan Bello this evening. I think we will start from that religious angle, because if there is anything that have kept Nigerians and will keep us perennially as slaves in this country, is religion. We are so intertwined. We are so immersed deeply into religion as a people, that we forget that religion is meant to be a personal walk with your God. A personal walk with your God. How you do it is none of my business. Please, if you didn't see that Bello skit, please go and look for that skit, because I saw that skit and I was like, hey, This man is working in the same spirit as I'm working. Because I always announce it every Thursday violence, almost every Thursday violence. I say on Thursday, today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. They will go to their mosques. When they go to the mosques tomorrow, they have lied to all the imams, all the malams. They don't blow them better lamba with that is fueled by extra resources behind the scene. The malams tomorrow will not come out and preach to the people and calm them down. Things are hardship in the country is caused by. It's not caused by. It's not the government. Please let's give them more time. Blah blah blah, and the agitation of the people will calm down. They have already paid their pastors for Sunday. On Sunday, me and you will go to the church, and we're in the church, the pastor will be preaching. Just pray, just believe, just sow your tithe, just this and that. The country will be better for you. All balbadash, all lies. It will never work. And the rinse and repeat this thing, washing and setting the head of our people back to back every week. It's a circle. It's a circle of washing. And we keep staying in these same chains, but there is no way out for Nigerians. There is virtually no way out for Nigerians. So I think we can start with the structure of the criminal structure of the religious bodies today. We can start shaking that table today. We can start destroying that table today. And hopefully, we begin to make impact going forward. With that, I say welcome to the violence space. And this last part of the space, hopefully today we'll be having the Bayelsa State LP gubernatorial candidate. He reached out to me, and I said on the last space that we might be having him here, bringing him up here to he's in court, and he reached out and was telling me about the court process and the procedures. And I was like, wow, really? I never even knew you were in court. That he needs the public to be aware of certain things that's going on with the case. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's a violencer. He has been with us from almost from day one, and it's always a platform for our people to always come out here, whatever you're doing. Hopefully, he's going to be with us on the platform today, and when he joins us, we'll have a wonderful conversation. And I want to say a big shout out to my brothers. I said this on the last violence space, and I'm saying this one more time here, that for us to start destroying the structure of criminality, that we also as a people have to start understanding that to fix this country is going to take Nigerians coming from the north to the south to the east and the west. It cannot be fixed by one set of people. It cannot be fixed by one demography. It has to be majority of, and I'm not saying every Nigerian. No, we cannot have every Nigerian on the table. Not everybody will align with us. Not everybody will come or believe what we are doing. So we see from afar, some are beneficiary of the current system. Some eat, drink, sleep with corruption. Some live for corruption. And we should understand that that's fine and good. We are looking for majority. If we have and majority, when I say this majority, we're thinking of just few hundreds of thousands of Nigerians from every region standing up and saying enough is enough, and we'll get back our country. It is important in this time and season for us to understand that to get back Nigeria is every Nigerian across the aisle. And that's why I always say, please, do not be pushed by banger tweets, do not be pushed by likes and retweets. Understand that you, as a Nigerian, you have responsibility in your hands. If you're not happy that you say they did not support Tinubu, they did not protest against Buhari, you're not happy about that. Fine and good. It is good to not be happy about that. But also, you said you did not protest against Buhari. You protested against NSAS, not Buhari. So it is a general consensus that the whole Nigeria failed to protest against Buhari. Everybody failed about that. Facts and figures. We all failed in that duty. And if today the Lord are saying they're going to protest against Tinubu, do not come and be reminding them you were silent for 8 years. You too, you were silent for 8 years. It is important to drum this aspect. We have to drum this into the brains of many of our people. You were also silent for 8 years. Nobody held your feet. And if they're standing up now, it is only a fool that we see people standing up and say enough is enough of what we are expressing in Nigeria, and all you feel is to throw shade. Ha 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 ha. You go suffer. We go suffer. There are real life consequences to what's happening in Nigeria today. Very, very, very important, guys. And I'm happy because I'm saying this. I'm seeing Northerners rising up, owning up to having their own spaces these days, running things, screaming. There is a particular space that is like the house of violence, and I love it. They call it rant space. And I'll always be on that space when they have their spaces, and I hear young Nigerians from the other side of the world, of the country, speaking truth to power also. You might not like how they are saying it, but they are saying it today. Importantly, that they are speaking out. Very, very important. And with that, I say welcome to the violence space. I have engineer Udens Uderi already in the building. I think at the top of the hour, we will bring him into the conversation. Thank you, sir, for coming up here. Let me pass the mic right now to my brother Welmy in Nigeria to join the conversation, and I'll open up the floor to every one of you to come in. In the midst of the conversations, we'll be having engineer Udens Eradiri of Bayelsa State to come in and share this moment with us also on the platform. Guys, thank you for joining us on the violence space. If you have not shared the space or not like the space, please do so. Let's get more people into the conversation. Let's have a wonderful conversation today. As I said, we are discussing the enemies of a working Nigeria. Welcome to the violence space. Take it away from here, please. Welcome Nigeria. God bless you, bro.
Yeah. Good evening to everybody in the space. Welcome again to Violence Space. Good evening, Emir Saddam, Jambelo, Johnville, Flag Boy. Flag Boy, I've been hearing.
Flag Boy is a hero. He's a hero.
I've been hearing your gist. Well done. I mean, well done. It's been incredible. And to everybody on the space, engineer, welcome, sir. So, welcome to everybody on the space. Do well to repost the space as a matter of reminder. You probably forgot when you came in, it's fine. But now that I'm reminding you, if not be bad belly, go and repost the space. I'm not forcing you. It's not, but like I always say, the only problem is that people that use Nigeria time will not come and be coming back. By the time I want to go and sleep. So repost it now, let them see it and start coming. Because if I'm ordering people later, I'm not pity for you. Anyway, that's on the light note. Anyway, so welcome to everybody on the space. I too would want to hear. I think, Engineer Dex, I'm just going to be very frank with you. I want to believe. I know. Not I want to believe. I know that your process in court is something you are doing to just like Peter Obi did, right? Even when all indicators point to the failure of the system, but you need to fulfill the righteousness. You need to show the people that you just didn't want to. You did not contest for cruise, right? And I know it doesn't come at a cheap cost. So, I mean, whatever money you've used to go to in the court process, you could have as well said, okay, let's forget about it. So it's good to have you here to at least hear what has been happening, how far it has come, and all that. But it's quite unfortunate. It's for me, it's just really sad that everybody has to go to like in Nigeria. We just like the way we don't trust our judicial system, and rightly so. As in, it's just like the fact that someone says they are going to court, and you already know the result in your mind. Like you already know that because the person is trying to fight against a corrupt system, he's not just fighting. So he's fighting the system. So it's quite sad, but it is what it is. For the enemies of a working Nigeria, the truth is that many people did this table. I mean, I think because I was in and out when Saddam was making some show, but I mean, I heard him when he talked about the religious bodies or the religious system in Nigeria, right? Because to an extent, I have said it so many times, and I mean, I'm a Christian, so you can't. I don't compare Christianity or compare like how Christian anybody is, but I can say I'm a Christian very well, trust me. But one thing I can also say is that the religious system in Nigeria, I'm going to talk from the Christian perspective as well. The religious system in Nigeria has immensely contributed to the failure of Nigeria. Immensely, like consciously, unconsciously, but immensely, they've contributed to the failure of Nigeria. So some of them would rather, and it's easier to point fingers. That's why I said there are many people on this table, because even some of us are probably on that table, right? But for the religious system, they would rather have a non-working Nigeria than, have a working Nigeria, because in Nigeria that is not working makes it easier to look for some, because as humans, we are always looking for something that would help us. So it makes it easier to say, to look for somebody that will help you. And at the end of the day, that's why it's sad for me. That's why I'm comfortable talking about it, because I feel like the way, and I'm talking much about Christian, because I want to believe that when our Muslim brothers come up, they will have the courage, the boldness to also call out their own religious leaders. But the Nigerian religious setting is in such a way that, it encourages the system to not work. It wants the system to not work. I've said it so many times, because we've talked about topic relating to that a couple of times, that a lot of you that are Christians in Nigeria will go abroad and not be Christians. I can bet you. It will take you how much of a Christian you are. You will only know how much of a Christian you are when you leave Nigeria. That's for a fact. You will only, and take it from me, knowing abroad I've been to different churches. I've been to churches. Because in Nigeria I attended Redeemed Church when I'm in Abuja, but my local church when I'm in my home. Then, so even abroad, I've gone to Redeemed Church. I've seen the difference. I've gone to different foreign church. Just recently I went to Hillsong. And I've seen the difference between what we practice in Nigeria as Christianity and what is being practiced abroad. So when you enter a church abroad, right, that's when you know that what they practice for Nigeria is not really Christianity. As in, that's when you know that these people are here not because they were, I don't know, not out of necessity, not because they feel like I need to go to church so that God will support me to make money, so that I can at least buy fuel to on my generator. I can buy a car because there's no transportation system. These people, everything is working. They don't need the generator. They don't need fuel. All they need probably just, even for work, there's work everywhere. So, in the midst of abundance, they still chose to go to church. So, but in Nigeria, it's almost like a tool for mental slavery. It's almost like a tool for mental slavery. You have to be like that. And, if Nigeria was to start working, the truth is that the number of religious people in Nigeria will also drop. There's something I don't want to talk about Muslims, but there's something my friend used to call, one of my Ghanaian friends used to call American Muslims. You notice that they are kind of, even abroad, like if you see some Muslims, you probably will not know they are Muslims. They're not the right time for it. It is maybe when you have conversations that you know. So it's quite unfortunate for that. But even aside that, the enemies of a working system can also be you. The enemy of a working Nigeria can also be you. I emphasize this a lot on the last space. You could think you want a working Nigeria, but virtually a lot of the things you do might negate it. Consciously or unconsciously. I'm someone that likes to give people benefit of doubt. I like to believe that maybe a lot of people do things out of ignorance, or, it's just, they didn't really think it deeply to say, okay, what I'm doing has this kind of effect. But it is why I usually call for people to think a little bit more deeper before they act on a lot of things. Like Saddam was saying, or, like we've been emphasizing for some time now, about the need to come together, across, tribes, religion, ethnicity, and fight the system. But the truth is that for some reason, if you feel hot, like if you, I don't know if it's hot now, but if for some reason, which to you might be okay, right? You keep poking that particular religious. This I need to tell people that a lot of time people forget. People know how to really look at other people. They don't know how to look at themselves. It's one reason why I also tell people how to put it. So you think, oh, I am from Edo State. Oh, this is how people do me this, people do that, so I can also do it to other people. But the truth is that to an extent, if you start to do it to other people, it might also make you what they are to an extent. So at the point of trying to fight, for example, bigotry, you too can become a bigot without knowing it. I mean, you will not know. You will think you are defending yourself, you are, fighting. So I really want to encourage us that let's not unconsciously, because I don't want to believe any of us here consciously will become the enemy of a working Nigeria. Let's not unconsciously, I give that benefit of doubt, become a tool, become an unconscious tool. Because, like we were saying on Tuesday, every time you, for example, try to cast aspersion on people that are trying to hold the system accountable because you feel like they're speaking very late, it is you. Because the APC, that's what APC would want you to do. There was one of our sisters that said some time back that whenever she wants to do something, she would like to think, what did APC want me to do in this situation? Some of the time, some of the things we do are the things that APC would want us to do. It may look as if at the end of the day, you just only be maybe bantering, laughing, or doing a lot of things. I mean, trust me, it's okay to laugh. Me, I like to laugh, but the point is that I'll probably not cast aspersion or try to discourage you. Anybody who want verse, make it verse. So that's what I would just say concerning this. But this enemies of working Nigeria is like an extended conversation, and I'm trying not to, because we have different aspects of the space today. I'm trying not to go far, but again, I just want to encourage every one of us. Let's ensure, that we ourselves, because I want us to start from ourselves. Let's ensure that we ourselves do not become the enemies of working Nigeria without knowing it. You may not know it, but it's possible. So on that note, I'll just hit the mic, and I don't know, Saddam probably want to say something. Then we'll start bringing up speakers immediately.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. You spoke really, really well. I think today we'll be focusing on let's focus on the religious aspects. We will hold ourselves accountable going forward, but I think we'll focus on religion today. Let's name and shame this corrupt religious leaders. Corrupt religious leaders have been bought by the system that enable our people to stay subjugated to corruption, to stay subjugated to the political class. Let us name and shame them. It is, I think, let them also feel that uncomfortability that true Nigerians feel every single day. It is very, very important we do these things, because the moment we keep shielding them, we keep covering them up, we don't make them, we feel that they're untouchables, they're untalkable. We don't talk about them, we allow them because they have a million or 10 billion followers. You should even be ashamed that you have 10 million followers. Your people are suffering. Please, please, please don't do that on this platform. Please, do not on your mic until you're called. I beg, no vex. Before we drop you down, thank you. All right. As I was saying, please, very, very important we do that. So you are free today on Violence Space. Any religious leader that you want to take on today, please do not with your chest. You with your chest, come out here, call them out, and expose them for what they are. It's very, very important we start destroying this structure of criminality. If not, we're wasting our time as a people. We'll keep repeating this cycle, and they keep getting richer, keep getting more financed by the system. Nigerians keep getting poorer and poorer and poorer. With that, I say welcome to the Violence Space. Well, in Nigeria, I think we should take it away from here. Let's bring in up our speakers right now. Let's have, I think it's a very, very big topic for us, and I wish we could limit it to the religious aspect for today. Maybe next week we'll talk about the civil societies, or the traditional aspect, or probably the educational role, the people, the key actors that are the enemies of a working Nigeria in the educational sector. I think we should start opening up these sectors one by one and make these guys uncomfortable. Very, very, very important. Today we're on religion. Please, guys, let's go on that trajectory. Thank you very much. Rome Nigeria, back to you. God bless you, bro.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Saddam. The sector many. All right, quickly. Let me just so we just start with our speakers. And now next, we're going to bring you in at some point very soon. But let's see if we can just take some of the speakers that want about the other topic. We'll find a way to manage this space and intertwine both conversations. All right, quickly. I'm just going to. Of course, I'll start with a lady. Myself, I'm a guy, so let's not guyize the space. All right, Mommy B, please go ahead. After Mommy B, I'm going to come to Dambelo.
Good evening, everyone from my side. I hope everyone is doing well. Emir, well-meaning, all the speakers, all the listeners. Yeah. I like this religious angle because anyone who knows me would know that I have an issue with organized religion in Nigeria, full stop. But more so with the role they seemingly play. Right. And if it is about calling somebody out, I want to call out Pa Adeboye of the Redeemed Church of Christ. If you are a Redeemer, no vex, right? This is me saying what needs to be said, right? I can clearly remember in 2012, right? He joined others on the street, right, Abby, to protest against Jonathan's government. They said they had caused hardship for Nigerians, blah, blah, blah. Right. Rightly or wrongly, I love it when religious leaders look at their flock and decide to dive straight into issues that are affecting them. However, he became quiet during the the locust driven years of Buhari, because the man was the vice president. We didn't help him. We didn't have a word, right? And people suffering had multiplied, right? And now, even now, we're in 1 year of this demonic government, right? It is even worse. And yet, when we drag members of that church and the role they play in this government, in the government of the day, and in other ways, people get offended. But these are the people who have actually become enemies of a working Nigeria, enemies of the people. Right? Because when you cannot, you shouldn't be picking and choosing what issues to get involved in and what have you. If it's affecting your members, then you as a church leader, especially when you have such a large denomination, should be. But you're quiet. Why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? At the end of the day, right, if we're saying that our religious leaders should be to a certain degree, just speak the truth and not be partisan. We know where your loyalties lie. But it is people like you, because your flock, right, look to you for direct. It is people like you that we would now say, let us protest, and they'll be telling you, no, you should just continue praying. Instead of taking action, things that we should be able to do for ourselves, right? We end up praying for them, or things that the government should do for us, we're praying for it as well. And instead of speaking truth to power and being what the early Christian church was, the Apostle Church, early church, they weren't scared. Yes, they spread the gospel, but they also cared for everyone in their congregations, or whatever we should call them at the time. Right. And I love what well-meaning Nigerian said, because I can remember when I returned to the UK as a young adult, right? I thought my mom raised us in Christ Apostolic Church. And we will pray. We used to pray for absolutely everything. And I then got to the UK, and then I found that to pray was a case of, actually, what am I praying for again? Right. The focus shifted onto praying for uh, deepening my relationship with God as opposed to having to pray everything because it was a society that worked. And having said that, right, you would still hear religious leaders speak to topical issues, right, and still drag the government. Yeah, I hear it that we have to be, we can't all be dragging like Valencians will drag people. However, but say something, help in this discourse. Don't discourage people, right? And like I said, the reason why I've dragged him is because if he had not done it before, we would say, well, it's not his way, but he has. So was that political? Does that make you a true church leader? It's like at the end of the day, we need to begin to tell ourselves the truth, right, about the role they play, because it seems like we have church leaders who are in bed with politicians and therefore cannot speak truth to the power. And in fact, they will discourage you. They will come out with false prophecies, right? They will try and skew Bible verses and, just to fit in with what is going on, when really and truly they should be the voice they should be bold and they should be the voice. And it's not to say we don't have those who are, because we have seen in the last 2 years, there's some who were speaking and still speak, right? But they have to take ownership for some of the things, right? Some of the difficulties we have in holding our government to account, right? Through false doctrine, through, all this thing about um, as long as you're paying your tithes, people are hungry, right? People are struggling, right? And I want to believe that church should be the voice for the voiceless, but hey, she is in Nigeria. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mommy B. I mean, you're totally spot on, because it's pretty sad what I mean. But then again, how will someone pay tithe if he's feeling comfortable? You have to be uncomfortable to pay tithe to hope that God will bless you. So that's why some of these people will not wish for a working Nigeria. All right, quickly, let me just go straight to Dambelo. After Dambelo, if you're on the speaker section, just do it to ensure your hand is up, so I'll come to you. After Dambelo, I'm going to come to Johnville, actually.
Thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, all protocols observed. Please, Sadem, well meaning, do you mind opening your mics? And anybody else who wants to open their mic. I have a question or some questions, and I want the answer to be Jira, Jira, Jira. You guys ready?
Jira,
Ayada.
Jira, Jira.
So, whenever somebody tells you that, me, I have lost hope in Nigeria, what do you say to him?
Jira, Jira, Jira.
Jira,
Jira, jira,
When
jira.
anyone tells you that Nigerians will be like this till thy kingdom come, what do you tell them?
Jira,
Jira, Jira,
Jira,
Jira.
jira.
Whenever inside your own mind you start to feel that maybe the hope that you have might just be wishful thinking, you look straight inside your mind and you say what?
Jira,
Jira,
Jira.
Jira, Jira.
Thank you so
Jira,
much. You
jira,
say
jira.
jira, jira, jira. Because you can. You do have control. Enemies, enemies of working Nigeria, they have figured out that we are very religious. And it's good that we are religious. But they figure out that we are so religious that how can they use it to control us, to take power, and to steal our wealth? That's what enemies of working Nigeria did with religion. So, the religion has become an important piece to their deceptive and tested and trusted method of keeping us fighting each other, confused and poor and hungry. I mean, can you imagine? This Friday, there's a lot of young people who are hungry for liberation for the first time in their life. They want to smell the air of liberty, asking for what is rightfully theirs. And then you have a top a top, what do I call him, officer, calling the big imams and giving them instructions about what to say at the mosque so that they can quell and discourage people from going out to say we are hungry, to say we don't have enough money, to say the fuel is expensive, to say I cannot, we don't have good schools. That's all these poor Nigerians want to say. And then you have someone who is at the position of a leader using religious clerics to stop that. And this is going to happen on Friday. All of them, or a lot of them, I don't know, are going to want to talk about this. So, the one thing we can learn in Nigeria is whenever there's an avenue to gain power or money, it filters out the worst. It keeps the worst at the top, and all the best will disappear. So, this system of using religion and using religious leaders to control the masses, I would not say that it started last year, or last 8 years, or last 10 years. But now we are getting a much more clearer picture of it. So there should be some religious leaders who are good. Well, I mean, two of them have already been killed, assassinated, because they were telling the youth to go out and protest against government misgovernance. Sheikh Jafar and Sheikh Albani Zaria, they were shot, assassinated. Do we have anyone like them right now? No, we don't, unfortunately. Now that we are getting a much more clearer picture of what is going on, how the North and the South, how Muslims and Christians, how different sectors of Nigeria are put together and divided and exploited, it's much easier for us to unite against our common enemy. Kingdoms rise and fall. Rome fell. The Ottoman Empire fell. The Mongol Empire, which covered the most land out of any other empire in the world, all from Asia all the way near Europe. Where is it now? If you don't have hope, you should. Nigeria will not stay like this forever. Nigeria must change. It is a living thing. If there is a baby in the belly of that country, it's time for labor, and nothing can keep that baby inside. Let's prepare our minds. Let's prepare ourselves. We have a country to build, and it's a country not for Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Ijo, or Kanuri. No. It's a country not for Muslim, Christian. No. It's a country for Nigerians and Nigerians only, and it doesn't matter where we are or who we are with, we will only identify with Nigeria because that's our common interest, and that's the only place we have for our children and grandchildren. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dambelo. I think now wherever you want to come up, we will say we need to give you either shake or because you come with is like I said on Tuesday, you are a man on a mission. You no matter what the top whatever they are discussing, you come and you know what you want, what your intention. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Not just on this space. I mean, I've heard you speak on some spaces, and it's the same sermon, different pattern, but the same message every time. Thank you for the consistency. I saw your I saw your video of today. It was funny. As I don't think there's any less than 30 seconds video that has made more sense ever. I mean, if you've not seen that video today, go to Zambelo's TL. How our security organizations and they will see they will see kidnappers, see everything. They will let them go. They will shy away. But immediately they hear protest. Immediately, they want to pro what? Pro. Okay. Very cowardly set of people. As in, they can't deal with people that are carrying guns like them. It's just ordinary Nigerians. Very irritating, honestly. Anyway, John V, please quickly go ahead. Soon we'll also bring in Engineer Dengs at some point to mix things up as well. So, but for now, let me just take those that are currently up here. Go ahead, John Veal, after which I'll come to
Thank you. 1 minute. See, I don't like talking about Nigeria's matter because I always get emotional. That's why I hardly talk on space. So, but this is not me calling out this pastor. He's my spiritual mentor. He's someone I respect so much. He's my number one spiritual pastor, spiritual mentor, and spiritual father, Apostle Joshua Selman. So, sir, if you are listening, I'm not calling you out. I'm just talking to you as a father and son. See, I listen to his tape, to his preaching every night. You know, that's how much I respect him. But you see, there's a pattern I've seen in his preaching and his personality. He's always very careful not to dabble into politics, right? A lot of politicians visit his church. They come to his church a whole lot. Maybe it's only president and vice president I've not seen. You see former presidents and vice presidents of other African countries. You see ex-governors, senators, big politicians. They come to his church, right? And he's always preaching about honoring people. He loves to honor people. You understand? And I absolutely agree with him. He's always very good to honor people. But my point is, he doesn't call them out. He doesn't speak to their conscience. He doesn't talk to them about what if these politicians are people that have got, some of them are people that have got blood on their hands, that have killed people, that have done evil things, but he doesn't call them. He just faces his preaching. He said he's not called for politics. In fact, if he's tempted to talk about politics, he will quickly stop and say, no, I don't like dabbling into politics. That's not my calling. You understand? There was a time there was a threat. Was it a bomb threat or something in his church, right? And he dared the person spiritually. He said, if you know you're born of a woman, he dared the person. If my God exists, please try it. You will see what will happen to you. He dared the person, and that person did not carry out that threat. I've forgotten the words he used, but he dared that person spiritually with his spiritual might. And that person was scared. He didn't carry out that threat. They got info that something bad was going to happen. So my point is, so what about other Nigerians? What about other people outside the church environment, right? People come to your service and they're going home late at night. What about their safety? There was a time people got kidnapped. These church members got kidnapped, right? And they paid millions to rescue those people. So in my mind, I was saying, so you, pastor, you can pay millions to rescue people. Why didn't you use your spiritual power to send thunder to strike those kidnappers so that they just release those people for free? You understand? So my point is, this is not me calling him out at all. They don't bomb me well. But I'm just saying that if you are being careful not to dabble into politics, if you are being careful not to say the truth to these politicians, you are still going to pay for it, because now you have paid millions. So you have paid millions to rescue people from kidnappers, and they killed some other people. They rescued some. You understand? So what's the whole point of trying to be careful of not telling politicians the truth? This is not me accusing him. Sometimes I used to think, is it because these people are donating heavily to the church, or what? Is that why you cannot tell them the truth to their faces? No, it doesn't make sense to me, because in the Bible, Jesus Christ did not come to make people, this prosperity preaching they're always doing, it didn't come to make people rich. Jesus Christ actually came to make the rich poor. And I have evidence to back them up. He called Peter, James, and John when they were fishing. He said, leave that fishing and come and fish men. Leave your business and come and fish men. He called Zacchaeus. Is it Zacchaeus? Yes, now. That climbed the tree. He says, tonight salvation has come into your home. And Zacchaeus gave out half of his properties. The only thing you hear Jesus did was he gave poor people food. You understand? Maybe through the offerings, they were getting, among the disciples. He gave poor people food. He was not concerned about he only came to save people, salvation. And he will tell you, pay your.
Was that just?
Sorry, are you still getting me? Sorry, are you still getting me? A call just came in.
Yeah, just go ahead and try to round up.
Yeah, I'm rounding up now. So my point is, look, I don't think, if you're a member of that church and if you're a Christian listening to me, it's time to start speaking the truth to your pastors, right? We need to come together to salvage this country, right? You cannot separate religion from politics. Those days, it was religion that controlled politics. You understand? Those days, in early civilization, you can't separate these two. You understand? So I really like these guys doing this operation, forgotten the name, operation, that's Field Marshal and Dr. Ekena. Because what I always tell people is invest more right now in creating awareness. Let Nigerians be aware of what's happening. Anywhere you hear that people are creating awareness, please put your money there. Because hunger is a unifying factor. It is this hunger that will help you propagate your message very, very fast. And before you know it, people will come together. This imminent revolution will erupt suddenly like a volcano. And there will be a molten magma that will come. There will be a molten magma that will melt away these evil politicians and their supporters. So please, I just want to encourage us, guys. Let's invest in spreading information, propagating information, and let hunger be that unifying factor that will bring us together to salvage this country. Tinubu is spending day and night making sure he's sophisticating the military and police to resist, to quell any form of protest or revolution against his government. That is his biggest fear. Tinubu is not sleeping. If he should hear revolution, he will get heart attack. If he should hear protest. So that thing that Tinubu fears most is the thing that you, as a citizen, you are fearing the most. And that is why this country cannot be salvaged, cannot be saved. So it's high time we stood up to Tinubu and take this country by force. I yield.
Thank you very much, John V. Thank you. And you were spot on. As in, I swear, there's a reason why there is a strong alert in the police right now that anything protest, like a flag boy is here, you will speak at some point. Police, once they hear that 2 or 3 people are gathered somewhere and protest, they know it's almost as if they will be happy to go there. Of course, they don't carry gun. Even a kidnapper they hear, they don't go. So that is something that Tinubu is afraid of, like strongly afraid of. He knows that Nigeria is sitting on the keg of gunpowder. So thank you very much, and thank you for that. For all you said. It's just sad. It's just sad that a lot of people, even pastors, try to sometimes be politically correct or evasive. That's pretty much just unfortunate. All right, quickly, I'm going to go straight to. Meanwhile, if I go to Velele, I was just going to. So, and this is pretty much an announcement. There are very, important spaces that will be coming up. One tomorrow and one on Monday. Tomorrow, for those of you that probably have not seen it, I know some of you knew heard before that Parallel Fact was going to be hosting Senator Reti Kingibe on Saturday, but there have been an adjustment. So that space is holding tomorrow by 6 p.m. So Parallel Fact will be hosting Reti Kingibe. So please, I mean, it's a good opportunity because personally, I'm also hoping that I've seen a couple of LP senators, House of Rep members. I know I have a problem with them because I feel like they know the den they were going to. They should have grown more. In the words of Adora is not Adora. Now they say balls. They should have grown more balls, but they are not. They are not doing it. But you can also tell that a lot of them are being suppressed, oppressed, and I don't even know. So it's also good that we find a way to, in our own way, also give them some form of strength and order. Okay, Adora, you don't send me emoji. Now your word. Anyway, so please, that space tomorrow is very vital. Then on Monday, 1MMC is going to be hosting Olumide Akpata. Olumide Akpata is coming to Twitter to do his campaign. Since they do mosquito, one mosquito reach X. So please, on Monday, get prepared and be part of that space and just get prepared. So we'll just try to take some speakers and so they will bring in Engineer Denks at the top of the hour. Let him give us updates. Then after that, we can ask if you want to ask him questions and also continue the other parts of the conversations as well. So at the top of the hour, I'll bring in Engineer Denks. But for now, let me just quickly go to Velele. After Velele, I'm going to come to Ogene Feji.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good everything to wherever you're speaking from. I like the way the space started, right? So, Saddam mentioned about identifying our enemies and fighting those enemies. However, because the war we're fighting now is currently covert, right? It's like hidden. It's not yet overt. I like to rather identify what the enemy is doing and fight what the enemy is doing, and I'll come to that later. But first, since we're being religious today, let me confess. All right, I am from the southeast. I knew Buhari was corrupt. I suffered under his government alongside my northern brothers, but I did not fight him in any way. I have no excuse, and I have resolved to do better. And I'm encouraging everyone from everywhere to fight the governance, every and anywhere they see it, right? Not mattering tribe, not mattering religion. So I did not fight Buhari too, the same way my northern brothers did not fight Buhari, so we're no different. But now, we're going to come together to fight bad governance wherever we see it. So before the 2020 elections, again, I've been fortunate in life to get by no matter the government. I used to think that people that were not getting by, that something was wrong with them. I want to publicly apologize to those people. And I want to come out now to say that any problem you're going through in Nigeria, the government has a hand in over 90% of it. The remaining 10% is your effort, like you are lazy or all those kind of things. But 90%, well articulated, if you come on one-on-one, I'll break it down for you, is the government that is holding it. And whatever person, no matter how pious that religious leader is, whatever person that does not tell you this truth and tell you repeatedly as well, is hiding the truth from you and is being deceitful. What I mean is, like, every single church service, every single gathering, he needs to, at the end, remind you who your enemies are, who is causing you not to succeed, who is causing you not to have access to good medical care, who is causing you not to live long. The person needs to be saying every single church service. At the end of repent and all those kind of things, at the bottom needs to be, remember who your enemies are, the people who are pillaging your resources. See, any leader that is not pointedly and repeat, any religious leader, any kind of leader, anybody that's not repeatedly and pointedly telling you who your real enemies are is misleading you. That's how it is. The reason your efforts are not yielding as much as your brothers in other countries are doing is not because of your sins. No, it's because of the bad government that's currently ruling over you. I think it's somewhere in the Bible, they said the rain will fall on both the just and the unjust. Let me extrapolate to say that same rain that falls in good governance countries, it falls in bad governance countries. And the reason the seeds you are planting in bad governance are not germinating is because of the bad governance over you. You are working 80 times as much and reaping 100 times division as less. You are receiving so much less for your effort. You are toiling and toiling and toiling. It's not because of anything, it's because of bad governance. So any religious leader that's not telling you this now, I'm saying every single Sunday, every single gathering, that's what they should start with, that's what they should finish with. So you start with it, tell people who their enemies are, then preach all the preaching you want to preach, and at the end, remind them that the violent need to take it by force. That's how it's supposed to be. Jesus Christ in the Bible, I'll talk Jesus Christ because I'm from a Christian background. He called out evil wherever he saw evil. He called it out in the church leadership. He called it out in the societal and the government leadership. If your Christian leader is not Christ-like, if he's not doing as Christ says, my brother, you need to go and revise. It doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter what miracles he has done. God himself said, some people come out and say, I did miracles in my name. And God will say, I know Sabi you. I don't know you. Get out of here. So please, I'm pleading and I'm crying and I'm saying, if you go now and a religious leader has not told you who your main enemy is, and he's not, again, I'm not saying say it one of our own. I'm saying repeatedly say it because the problem has not been solved. Then you need to know that's a serious, serious problem. The other thing I wanted to talk about in the next 2 minutes is, again, what the machinations of the enemy are per se. We're talking religious today. I'm sure we know that this bad governance, or Timber as it is, let me just name him directly, he's weaponizing and worsening hunger. He's weaponizing and worsening illiteracy. He's weaponizing and worsening poverty. These three things, they have a repeated reoccurrence, right? And hunger actually has stages. There's the hungry and I won't go chop. There's the hungry and I don't feel move my body. And there's the hungry and I'm almost as good as dead. Most Nigerians are in that last two stage. I'm very, very afraid that at a certain point to come, these people are saying if you hit the street, people will be so hit that they will just be lying dead in their places and just dying off and getting wasted away. There is also the distractions that are being used, right? There's religious divide, there's tribal and ethnic divide, and then there's what I call religious preoccupation. Now, I've thought about it, and the way I think we can fight religious divide is what Peter Obi is doing. The Bible said somewhere that a man's gift maketh room for him. So if there is a way we can get big Muslims to be given to Christians who are poor and big Christians to be given to Muslims who are poor, that's exactly what Peter Obi is doing. We'll start making these inroads into other religions. We can apply the same thing for tribal and ethnic divide, right? Big people in one tribe doing good, massive and outlandishly good things for the other tribe. The other one that I really don't know how to fight it, aside from what I'm doing on this space, is what they call religious preoccupation. It is this wet blanket that religion has placed on our people's mind. It's almost as though when you become religious, your mind just gets switched off. And I'm telling you now, if your mind is open now, that any religious leader does not come out, and I'm repeating myself, but that's the way religious leaders have been repeating it in our heads and we've forgotten, that does not come out and pointedly tell you who your enemy is, and pointedly tell you why you're suffering, and does not tell it to you repeatedly and encourage you to go and take back the power that has been stolen from you, is your enemy. That person is being deceitful. That person is lying, and Satan is the father of lies. Take whatever it is you want to get from it. To round up, because I've been over now by 40 seconds. See, religious preoccupation, to be honest, I don't know how to fight it. Every single person in Nigeria has not less than 10 to 15 years of religious programming hardwired into them. It's not something I'm going to use 5 minutes on space to break. So I think at the end of the day, I have to even come and pray and say, God,
Talk,
please free your
just
people
the
from religion.
talk.
No, bros, I beg. What up with it to talk? I beg. I normally have notes before I come on space. I don't reach the end of my notes. Thank you very much.
Anyway, thank you very much, Bele. As in, your submission was, in fact, if not before time, I say repeat it, go back to the beginning of your note and say it again. I mean, I really hope everything you said, every single word was spot on. As in, when you were talking, normally when people talk, I was trying to pinpoint on things I will emphasize on when you finish, but bro, there were too many things you said that's worthy of emphasis. I can't even remember. I mean, but one of the very important things you said is your sins is not the reason why you are where you are in Nigeria. It has to be very clear. It is not, it does not have anything to do with your sin. It does not have anything to do with whether you did not pay. Have you been abroad? Oh, if
you see that point, now waiting that they use keep people these days. You see that point?
I'm telling you, it is not your sin. It is not. I mean, the way, and this is pretty much, like I said, I'm Christian. The way these things work is that if anything that you want to do it. If you are doing what you are supposed to do, God will now come and bless and add, and just add the things that money cannot buy. That's what God does. God is not supposed to get involved in things that money can buy. He's not interested in those kind of things. He's interested in things that money cannot buy. So, but in Nigeria, that's why abroad people go to church for things money cannot buy. So you see people in church, they go to church because they just want to. You see them, they want to be happy.
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
I'm coming. They go to church because they want to meet, like they want to be happy. The kind of thing they go to church for is happiness. They want to be happy. Like you can't buy happiness with money. Those kind of things. But for Nigeria, oh God, you go to church because your generator will finish. You just want to go church so that God will do it. Person will give you money to buy for generator. Is a lie. God does not work like that. Don't be deceived. God is not mocked. Anyway, thank you very much, Belen. That was very, very sound.
I mean, you see why me I'm just so angry. We call it organized religion. These guys, I think they're the greatest problem of that country. I remember as a kid when I did pray when NEPA bring light, and the NEPA bring light. Why I pray? It's not a miracle. Allah, you go see where I will come. Nigeria will play match. Will take. I will come. My younger brother say, "Come, let's pray. We go begin the fire prayer." My mates, they for China. They discover ICAC, drone machine, and then with the fire prayer, NEPA must bring the light. NEPA, Kai! See, our religious leader say, I'm telling you, we have to get to that point where we say, we will demystify these guys that they become as mere mortals. They have deceived us so long. We pray for nonsense. We pray for mundane things. We pray for mundane things. As in, you see someone that I lost a friend, a very good friend of mine in Abuja. This guy was involved in an accident. I think the day he was cleaning his house and he slipped and fell and hit his head on the floor. The family people stopped the car, they made this guy go to hospital. They carry and go church. They carry and go church. What? It is crazy how much harm religion has done to that country. And if you speak, you see people come and say, you even see the most educated of us come and say, no, 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 no. Touch not my who anoint you. This table has to be broken, honestly speaking. When Nigeria, back to you.
Yeah, it's really the mental slave is quite on the high. All right, quickly, let me just go to Organ F. After Organ F, I'm going to come to Flag Boy before we now. I think by that time we'll now get to engineer things.
Well, man, you know I make I talk about.
Harry, when I say this about Kunu where you drink this afternoon, they run through your blood. All right, we just say I can run through it and I'll bring in. One thing I know is that engineer Dance must call me top of the hour. That's
I remember how they talk, we don't tell.
yeah.
Hello.
Was he not married recently?
Eh,
I want to know how who they married for Tinubu regime.
Wait, I don't marry you on that Tinubu regime. Hey.
Now God win now. You don't know.
Anyway, Harry,
You don't say we for obedience movement. People they go down, we just they move on.
Okay, then Feji, go on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I love the way the last speaker ended his quotes, and me, I don't know what you people are saying. There is something that has been happening for. I mean, when it comes to religious bondage, we've been in that for so long, so it's difficult to change it. One thing that I just want to announce to all of you is that my own daddy Gio is Peter Obio. There is me. I don't know what we cannot change some certain things. My own daddy Gio right now is Peter Obi. So all I think about is how to promote him. How do I do it? You know all the things we do to our daddy Gio. Me, I'm trying to do the same to Peter Obi because right now he is my own daddy Gio because a lot of things we are aware of when it comes to religion, we cannot change it. You see, when we go to church, we in our different tribes, with all the bigotry happening right now, we go to church and we still do daddy, 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 daddy. So we can also do the same when it comes to our own daddy Gio, Peter Obi. One thing that we know is that a lot of things is happening in Nigeria which we are aware of. The man is a drug lord. God punish Ibrahim, or what's his name, Sheila, God punish him. What is the next thing that we need to do? Today now we are looking at religious leader. I am thinking, okay, so if religious leaders are the problem, what can we do to change everything? What we can do is not to change people because these people, we can talk, but their heart is hardened. So what we can reveal to them is that we have our own daddy Gio, which is Peter Obi, so we can be gullible in his presence. We can think of how to, I won't say worship our own daddy Gio. We can think of how to, celebrate him and still shout him the way they shout about their own religious leader and all these things. So talking about religious leader, this was not how I wanted to like enter the whole message, but since everything is streamlined to religious leaders, I just want to say right now, my own religious leader right now, my dad Joe, is Peter Obi. So because everyone is having plan, religious leaders, they have their own plan. The northern elites, let me mention the northern elites, they have their own plan. Southern elites, the Agbado, they have their own plan. We need to also have our own plan. We that are under Peter Obi, we who are campaigning under Peter Obi, we need to have our own plan, something that unites us. Because when it comes to church, regardless of what they are going through, they go to church and they are kind of united with their suffering and everything. So I don't know what kind of chain ties people when they get to church that they forget, I won't say their senses, and they're like worshiping and praying and then respecting their daddy Joe. So instead of me trying to understand the chain that ties them, it's better for me to just find my own daddy Joe so that the chain will tie me to him so that we be gullible around him, know how to promote him, know how to. Right now, they are saying we cannot protest, threat everywhere, but at least we can celebrate our daddy Joe, isn't it? So if majority of us who are actually majority, right? Not the ones that we are seeing online, the bigotry and everything that is happening. If majority of us we want to celebrate our daddy Gio, we can go ahead and celebrate our daddy Gio worldwide. So I'm not, I wouldn't want to try to speak to those who are gullible when it comes to religion. I wouldn't want to speak to those who are, when it comes to fighting for their pastor, when it comes to fighting for their daddy Gio, they do it with energy. So you cannot understand why. So instead of trying to understand why, you just find your own daddy Gio and be gullible and get ready to fight for him, get ready to celebrate him. So right now, my own daddy Gio is Peter Obi, and I'm thinking of how to celebrate him, how to
Yeah.
fight for him, and how to do different things. So that's it,
All right.
Josie.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much, Organ FAG. You don't adopt. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Quickly, meanwhile, Zoss of Jesus, I see you. I don't say you're just. I don't call Zoss of Jesus. You don't drop. Meanwhile, Engineer Dex, I think I don't know. Maybe you had a call, so I'm sure you'll be back. But for now, let me bring in Flag Boy. Then I'll come to Harry before Engineer Dex comes in. Flag Boy, are you here? Because I say the way you want to do now, they fit give you one room for the way. Should I say as police station say they meet you now, so you take me there. They fit give you one room for inside there. Flag Boy, are you here or probably you're busy? Okay. On that note, let me go to Harry then. Then okay, Engineer Dex is coming back.
Obedience are very patient. So me, I go wait. I beg Mona no vex because I will start this space with laughter. When we were campaigning, I will take you guys back. Oga Saddam, you remember when we were doing this thing? We were going to villages, going to places like that, rural areas, pleading with them. Oh, look, it's not about the identity of this man. It's not about his party. It's not about his religion or his tribe, whatever. It's all about what he can offer. Remember when I told you that then get one village where I enter, so they come out and follow me with machete and everything. I just they laugh because I the reason how that village could look presently. I'm just reasoning how that village will look like presently. This is a village that doesn't have a good road, access road. It doesn't have access to electricity, not even clean drinking water. As of that time, not to talk of this particular period when things are too hard. How are they going to cope? You see, Dambello have said it all. I only came here to just laugh at those people that when we were telling them it's not about the religion, it's not about the party, it's not about the tribe. Vote for competency. You are saying no. Velele said something and well-meaning Nigeria repeated it. When he said, it's not about your sin. Look, your sin has nothing to do with the bad governance or bad leadership or whatever you are facing in this country. Make we compare them now. People of China, they even know God. Now Buddhists, them be. People where they Europe, they know what you they do. Some of them are free thinkers. Some of them don't even want to hear anything religion. But look at where they are right now. Look at the kind of things that they are doing for their people. Look at the things that those people are. In fact, even us where they religious, now there we they go make we enjoy life. When your own country, you know, if you do one. So me, I don't go talk too much, but the truth is that we just have to do the right thing. Our people just wake up. Just wake up. Because some of us still they sleep. You see, then still they go mosque. They tell us, hey, waiting make now. We know they see any progress now because hey, we do the sin, make we repent, go back to God, blah blah blah. All those things na lie. Na lie, you know they happen. So frankly speaking, as a particular person, you know, say me, I dey do well, alhamdulillah, I dey move on with my life like this. And majority of us really in this space, as I dey see all of us, we are all moving well, we are doing well. I know. We are just looking out for those ones that are just beside us. Those are really suffering, the real masses of the country, and I them know they pity themselves. The same person you sit with, advise him, tell him, no, vote for competency. No, this person, what did he do for you in the past 4 years? What can he show? What can he show that this is his own track record? What has he done in the past that he really deserves this office? They will tell you, he's my brother from the south. No, he's a Muslim. No, they are doing this. Okay, now, she be a Muslim. When hunger comes, maybe they find church, they enter mosque. Well, meaning that's all I want to say.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, good night, good morning, everybody.
Much, thank you very much. All right.
Sorry, 1 million. I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the question I wanted to ask. So it's more like everyone is having a strategy right now. I said I was going to ask you and Saddam because we saw the tweets of El son. So it's more like the North are having some kind of, not the North per se, the Northern elite are having some kind of strategy, and everyone is having some kind of
Yeah.
strategy. But it's more like, what do you think it's like a practical step for we as an individual, or we as, I won't say obedient, but we as obedient, what do you think it's a practical step for us right now as a strategy? Because it's more like everyone is having a
All right.
strategy and we are
Okay.
just spectators observing
All right.
and
Okay.
looking.
Okay. FH, if to say you tell me see why this question, I for don't load on man with me down. That if you ask me who I will ask, I for not keep away for you. But I mean I get your question, but of course we do have spaces a lot of time where people, and the truth is that I like the fact that there are a lot of scatter, a lot of people are approaching, like, for example, um, Dr. Aikena, Chris, and a couple of persons have been doing boots on ground and, even seeking for support. General Lucci initiated, and a lot of people have keyed into it anyway. That's why I said initiated the, and because the first thing we need to even pass through is, enlightening Nigeria. That's the first thing. And I think that's the thing that a lot of us don't want to pass through. We want to jump, but it's unfortunate we have to go through it, enlightening people and all that. But there are other things, and of course, this space today is not really for that, so it might be difficult to do that. But I mean, I think it's a conversation we keep having over time. I want to go to Flyboy. I had called you before. Flyboy, I'll come to you again because I want to go to Engineer Deng. But I just want to ask you before Engineer Deng go. Flyboy, how are you doing?
Good evening, everybody. By the grace of God, I'm doing good.
Okay, I mean, I heard, I know there was some fracas today, but just to be sure you're safe, you're fine, yeah.
Yes, I'm
Right,
fine.
Flyboy,
I'm fine.
okay, all right, that's good, that's good. But I hope you'll be on the space till the end because after Engineer, thanks, I'll still come back to you to probably just give us, give your submission, and probably if you want maybe some slight information about what happened. All right, quickly, I'll just go straight to Engineer Thanks. He has been here from the beginning of the space, but of course, we wanted to make sure that more people come in. For those of us that don't know, Engineer Thanks is a young, brilliant mind. He was the Labour Party candidate for Bayelsa state election. For those of you that follow off-cycle election, you know that was one of the elections that happened along with Imo state election and Kogi state election. So he was the Labour Party candidate. He moved like, if you're a violencer, I don't need to introduce, so I can't introduce Engineer. Engineer Odenz is practically a violence space attendant. So he was here before the what am I saying? He was here I'm not sure he was an aspirant yet when he came here. He was here when he just had it in mind that he was going to contest. Even before he had it in mind, he was already on violence space. We hold spaces together. He gives normal submission, speaks to the subject. Then even while he was going to become an aspirant, or before he was going to become an aspirant, he came and, I could remember back then how much he emphasized some of the, how a lot of some things regarding, how the Labour Party should try as much as possible to ensure that the ticket, the process is okay and all that. But at the end of the long story short, he was able to go through that process, and we all know what happened in those 3 by-elections. It's quite sad. For those of us that followed the 2023 election, I've said it so many times, one of the biggest loss, as in, I've said it, why Peter Obi not being declared the winner after winning the election is sad and a big loss. But I think the biggest loss in that election was a huge opportunity for the people to take back power. As in, that election was going to be a fight between the people taking back power or the establishment becoming stronger in holding power. That was 2 things. So whether or not we like it, they forced themselves to win that battle. They didn't really win the battle, but they forced themselves, used whatever things they have, and they carried on that act into the off-cycle election. It is why the Edo State election that is coming up is so, I mean, for those of us that have been on spaces, I will talk about it. So I would say Engineer Deng was a victim of Bayelsa State, the real Bayelsa State people who would have benefited from democracy, who would have benefited from good governance, were victims of this same system. So he has been in court, and he's just here to first of all say hi and also maybe give us some updates on if he wants to, as much as whatever he wants to share with us. Then you'll be around after, which if you want to ask him any question, or probably any way you want to be of support. And when I say support, I'm not talking financial. I'm talking about, I mean, financial is fine if you want to, but I mean, support by your skill. If you think there's any way, any suggestion you want to give as well, you could also chip it in. But for now, let me just bring in Engineer Dengs to just I don't want to say introduce yourself because everybody knows you. If you don't know him, that's your own. But if he wants to, maybe he can introduce himself and just tell us what the update has been so far. So let me just say, Engineer Dengs, how far?
Okay. Good evening, everyone on this space. It's been my pleasure listening and following all these years, and of course, coming back to talk to you this and share my experience with the house today. So, first of all, my appreciation and thanks goes to Emir Saddam. One for being able to keep this process running till this point. You and all those behind the scene who have supported this space to be in existence till now shows how resilient you guys are. And so I want to commend you and thank you. And again, thanks Saddam for putting this together. When I reached out to him to say, look, this is the situation and what do we do? Let's just talk about it. And I appreciate that today we are here to talk about it. I need to make a point very clear. Maybe for those who have not met me before, my name is Udengs Eradiri. I've done a lot. I'm telling him I'm on phone call. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you now. We lost you for like 3 seconds or so. Go ahead.
Sometimes the calls come in and then
Normal level. I'm sure they're trying to do like you're getting different calls. Are you there now? I think they're trying to come back. I've heard a lot of you calling it. They're not going to call it now just for giveaway. Because for Nigeria, now if any others, are you there?
hello?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Uh-huh. So, sorry, it was the network problem again. So, I've been listening to the space, and I say I appreciate what you guys have done over the years. For me, my grandmother told me never to regret anything because if it didn't happen, you will never know. So I don't regret. Like I said, I've done a lot of things. I've been an activist from the University of Benin. I was president of engineering students. I was in the movement for a lot of student welfare activities in University of Benin. Migrated to be Secretary General of the Joy Youth Council. Went into strong activism over the underdeveloped nature of the Niger Delta, and then rose from that point to become president of the Joy Youth Council. I've all my life, it has all been about trying to protect people's interests. And then I got to a point where I got to realize that if I don't participate, I will be complaining until the day I die. And then the gradual migration from being an activist into politics started. Became commissioner for youth, later commissioner for environment, went to the NDDC and was a special assistant to the MD, and then decided I was going to participate because I think that it's right. I'm not a youth per se. And so I said, no, I have to participate. I can't be complaining and then postulating all kinds of solutions and then I don't participate. And that's where I had to stake all I have worked for. I'm an engineer by profession. I majored in dredging technology from A&M University in Texas. And so it is a skill that I know very well. I went to school to build capacity, and that's what I'm even doing now. After the election, I've gone back to the field. I'm working while I'm battling on one hand. I'm still going back to the field. Otherwise, I won't be able to fund the elections and the entire process to this point. I need to make another point very clear. To a large extent, our people didn't even believe that I was in this election to get to the logical conclusion, because some people just come, they throw all kinds of blackmail. Even in the obedient movement, most people say, no, leave him, he's being sponsored by APC. Some people say he's being sponsored by PDP. Some say he's looking for money. Look at me, I'm standing, I'm the last man standing. All the people who are accusing me are the ones who have either collected money or joined the other side. I'm still standing. I'm in court with APC, I'm in court with PDP. So who is now sponsoring? Even when we were in the campaigns, I was more visible than those who they say were sponsoring me. Could somebody be sponsoring a young person and the person is campaigning more than those people? But even my people didn't believe. At the end of the day, it became a trading ground, especially through my party, Labour Party. I've never seen this kind of institution from before. But like I said, my grandmother said, if it not happen, you don't go know. I've been following the discussions um, as this space started, went into religion, which of course is one of our biggest problems. I heard the sermon that Saddam started with initially, and that's the reason why I'm in this. Why should we all be saying, no, it not concern me, or let's leave it, or let's be passive? Because if I want to join the system, of course, I will be held in very high esteem. All the overtures, I've turned them down because that's not what I want. I want to be governor of Bayelsa State because they don't know what to do with that seat. So even all the overtures for me to drop this case, I say no, I didn't contest for money. I didn't contest for money. If I take money, it not concern anybody now. If I wanted this money, I will take the money, I will move now. The person send me. But people, you hear young people like you, those who don't even have anything to eat. They are the ones who throw all kinds of blackmail. At the end of the day, they will come back and be begging you money. So my appreciation goes to all those who have been resilient. A lot of obedient movement have joined the other side. People don't drop, people don't tire, they don't say they don't do again self. Because they are people who don't hold firmly to what they believe in. I believe strongly that the only way Nigeria will change is that we take action. Nobody does the talk. We take action. I've started it in Bayelsa. I hope that other young people are seeing. If it doesn't happen, come on. Bye. I didn't kill anybody now. So if it doesn't happen, life continues. But to go straight to the issues, we went into the elections. I was fooled because I thought that Bayelsans were suffering. I lie. Bayelsans are not suffering. They are not suffering. When a man is suffering, he gets to a point he will discover that he's no longer eating food, but sand. As it stands, Nigerians are not suffering. They are enjoying. Over Nigerians, they enjoy. So sometimes, let's reappraise. Is it that we are trying to cry more than the bereaved? Because these people are not bereaved. They are not. I'm sure a greater percentage of people on this platform listening to me today, they have their decent jobs they are doing. Now, if they want to mind their business, they will mind it, and not life will continue and go on. They pay their bills, but they are saying, no, let's try and see what we can do. The ones that don't have, that you think you are struggling. Hello?
Yes, go on, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Saddam, can somebody respond to me? Let me know that we're hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go on, sir.
Hello?
Oh, I think he
Wow.
cannot hear us.
Hello?
I think let me drop him. Let me drop him and bring him back.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Can anybody hear me?
Can you hear me?
I don't think you can hear. I don't.
It's gone off again.
Let me drop him and bring him. But let me just add to this. For those that don't probably ask, who is this guy? Who is this guy? You must have seen or heard that we they beat. We they beat. When they asked somebody a question on TV, that did you beat a so and so and so person? He said yes. As Ijo Youth Council, we they beat, and our man. Some situations in Nigeria deserve beating. Nigerian politicians deserve to be beaten. Don't be hide all this one. We do all this thing we do. We supposed to beat Nigerian politicians like thieves. The same way people will catch thieves that
I
will
met
steal
you don't talk
Maggi,
now. And the matter
Maggi 2 naira in market, and people will randomly beat that thief with all your anger. You will see convoy pass, you hail them. Hey. Now that Nigerian way they are coming are supposed to beat. That mentality we have to change in that country. And then you can come in now, sir. Please. Welcome.
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, you audible. We
I think.
actually heard you to the point where you stopped, where you
Oh,
said
oh,
those ones on the streets, those of us here.
so no, Saddam. Just now you say you beat Nigerian politicians. No, the Nigerian politicians don't get problem. The problem not the followers. I am telling you from experience. Not the followers. So, if they cut a long story short, we're in court. So sometimes they say when things are in court, you don't be discussing them. Because concerned Bayelsans, some concerned Bayelsans did something about the way the court was going. And when we went to the appeal court, the lawyers from the other side wanted to go and hang it on my head that it was me and were almost reporting to the judges. Before my lawyer say, are you, because you're accusing Udez when his name is not there. Don't Bayelsans have a right to protest over something? And that's how that one went down. So I wouldn't want to be going too much in details, but I will give, an overview. So we went into the election. I did the campaigns, despite all the setbacks from both party and those who you think that understood what we were doing. I went into the elections. It was a very better experience because I was fooled. I thought that Bayelsans were suffering. I thought that Bayelsans really wanted to make progress. I saw young people who didn't have jobs for 5 years, 10 years, telling me on election day that we never see your money, so we no go vote. I said, God forbid. Don't vote for me. I don't want that kind of vote. I said, look at me very, very well. Do I look like who is suffering? Oh boy, now me carry this problem. Don't put for my head, say I won't go solve problem when it concern me. Because if I want to face my business, I'll pay my bills. I pay them. I don't look back. But should we all continue like this? Where are our children? Where are they going to be? All of us will send our children abroad. My children were all born in America. After now, all of them will migrate. By the time they go and be engaged in different kinds of studies, because the kind of courses we have in Nigeria, they are obsolete. What they are teaching young people abroad is different from the kind of education we are just training our people and by graduating people into unemployment and redundancy. So my children and most of your children here are taught differently. They are taught how to run a functional society, not back in Nigeria. Even the politicians, when they send their children out, they don't come back because they were taught to function in a functional society. Very soon, this pot will break on our head. And so all of us need to be concerned. Because when those of us who are mature enough, those listening here who are concerned to even come on this platform, when our generation pass, look back, look down, the kind of young people that are coming up, the kind of ritual, yahoo, prostitution, all kinds of nonsense is now the norm in our society. In Bayelsa, mothers are sending 13 years old girls for prostitution to survive. So imagine that mindset of that generation when it gets to their time to take leadership. Can you imagine the kind of Nigeria we will have? That's why some of us are doing what we are doing. So if people think that we are looking for money, we need to look. Me, I'm not looking for that kind of money. I like the type that I work hard for. I'm good at thing. Before I started to venture into politics, I knew that economic power is one barrier you must cross to be able to withstand any political pressure. You must build yourself economically. And from when I graduated, I started struggling hard. All those things that excite Nigerian politicians, I have grown beyond that. And I kept telling people in the election, they don't really listen. Exposures, traveling, the basic necessities, I have gone beyond that. So I won't be excited over the perks of office because I know, I have seen. These, our followers are not ready. Nigerians are not ready. People who are hungry, people who have not ate, went and took 12,000, 20,000, 50,000. Bayelsa election was the most monetized election, probably because of the pressure we put in the campaign. And they won the election, they announced. INEC had agents, they came to my office, how they can help me. I say, look, once you have brought this election to the table of buying and selling, I cannot participate. One, I cannot outpay a sitting governor. I'm not a fool. I know the terrain I found myself. The security will call, so boy, if you do like this, I say, oh boy. Once you don't bring them to the table of buying and selling, forget about it. Because I will not outpay. As you have come to negotiate with me, you will go and get the highest bidder. And I am a victim of it. I don't even call myself a victim. I now learned and understood the process. So we went in, came out of the elections. I said, well, I haven't seen what happened. I thought I was going to run on the backs of those who were angry. I didn't know they were just looking for a way to also get their own part of the share. They got their share. I left it. I said, let me go and reorganize myself, dust my office desk, and go back to work. While I was in Mexico, I saw that 2 House of Reps members had lost their seat, including one from Labour Party in Enugu State, in a appeal court in Lagos, for using first school living certificate. And that's where I said, well, if they have already told us that this is what the standard is, let me test it. The Bayelsa deputy governor of PDP used first school living certificate. He did not even hide it in his INEC form. When they asked schools attended, primary school, first school living certificate, secondary school, 000 he wrote, university, 000 he wrote. Forgetting that in 2019, he contested the same election and lost. In that election, his form, he filled it as having attended university and is a lawyer. But some people accused him of forging NYSC certificate, and that matter dragged to the Supreme Court. But they were able to pay those who were involved. One of them relocated to Canada, the other one relocated to Abuja to establish a business. And they dropped that case at the Supreme Court. So while contesting this election, he couldn't bring any of those certificates to the contest and dropped everything to first school living certificate. And if the law says first school living certificate does not qualify you, even if you have PhD, the issue is that as at the time of filling that form that qualifies you to participate in the election, did you present it? If you didn't present it, then your case is as good as the House of Rep member who lost his seat from Enugu State, because that is the law. And so I decided to challenge it. The second aspect is that the APC candidate had taken oath twice. He contested an election. After 1 year, the court nullified it, and he went for another election and won and served 4 years. So in all, he has served 5 years and some months. So if he takes another oath, it will be against the Nigerian constitution that says you cannot serve more than 2 terms of 4 years each to make 8 years. In the lower court, when this matter went to court, the court disqualified him. He went to appeal. Of course, you know the Nigerian judicial system. The judges came out and said the man who went to court was a Melisum interloper. I have raised the issue in the tribunal. I am not a Melisum interloper. I'm an interested party. Therefore, I have asked the court to declare me winner of the election because I want the valid votes cast in the election. Because the Electoral Act says once there is an infraction, even if you score 1 million, they are wasted votes. So the PDP vote, in my own opinion, is a wasted vote. The APC who came second is a wasted vote because of these constitutional infractions. It is there in the Nigerian Constitution before the Electoral Act further amplified it. So I've only asked the court to say your own rules, citing all the cases that have been adjudicated in the past. to say, look at your case, your judgments to these same issues, and apply the same in Bayelsa. And then let me also let you know, the PDP lost the election in 2019. His deputy governor and PDP went to court that the deputy governor of APC, David Lyons deputy, had infractions with his certificate where the names had some discrepancies. And the court ruled in favor of the PDP, and that's how the PDP won that election through the court. The same infraction, deputy governor certificate issue, have arisen again. So if you have applied it in the first place, why won't you apply it in this case? And so I went to the tribunal, and I saw another abracadabra in the tribunal. Today I'm at the appeal, hoping that when the cases are put before their faces, they will do what is right. So I think this is the little I have to say about the court case. But let me say this. I don't have hope in the Nigerian judiciary because of what have been transpiring, what we have been seeing. But there is one strand, this my plenty baby I'm holding here, there's one strand, just one strand I'm holding on to, believing that there may be one or two justices that will sit up and say, come on, let's do what is right. And I've decided to stick in. It's not easy. I generate all the resources myself. I have gone the whole hog, making sure that at least let it be on record that I got to the logical conclusion. I don't owe anybody in this process. I am doing everything I can believe because I believe that somebody has to challenge this thing going on. And to do that is to go through the right process. I can as well join the fray. Once I say I want to join it, it won't take me 2 minutes before you begin to hear my name with Denseradri. But is that what I'm built for? No. I grew up from a system where I believe that things should be done properly. I went to University of Benin. I was taught properly in the university. And it is those beliefs, those systems that brought me up. It's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So for those who don't believe and throw one tone or the other, that's their business. I don't owe any of them any apology. I believe that I will do better as governor of Bayelsa State because I have seen, I know, I have been able to generate resources, generate employment on my own as Uday said. I am disciplined financially, and so I know that with state resources, I will be able to discipline my state and give it a direction, identifying the right people to work with, and with that we can get Bayelsa working. The way Nigeria is now, the big elephant, we are all looking at it, but the small ones that we should go and pick and begin to use that to express ourselves, we are failing in our responsibilities. Local government, who are the people that are councillors? Who are the people that are local government chairmen? Who are the governors? If the governors were functioning the way the Abuja is cutting all this, their what do they call it, subsidy, and sending the money to the states, and if the local governments are working, gradually we can start seeing some examples we can lay hands on. But if we all focus on only this Abuja, I think that we'll be missing the point. And that's why I said, for me, there's a Radiri. I will start battling from my state and see what I can do from the bottoms up. To do that, I have to belong to a political party. I have to follow a process. That process created a lot of pitfalls for me. I knew what I was getting involved in 2010 when I contested for House of Reps under the same Labour Party. Because when they say Labour Party, I think that I also one of the oldest members of that Labour Party. People who have tested an election before, gone through the same process of your leaders going to negotiate. They come and talk to you on the space, speak all the grammar. In the night, they are negotiating your interest and collecting their own. And then in the daytime, they are presenting another face. I saw them in 2010. I saw them again. And that's why I was very ready to handle all those things. I saw it. So I'm not surprised about what is happening in the Labour Party with the kind of criminality, brazen, shameless criminality. I'm not surprised. I know. I've experienced it before, bitterly, and I fought it even as a young boy at that time. Is it now I'll be afraid to fight it? So we're in court by Monday. We should be the appeal court have adjourned for judgment on Monday. We are expecting that they will do what is right. If they don't, they will meet me in the Supreme Court. I will test it so that let it be on record that the processes they put in place because of money, because of patronage, we are here looking at them. All their children and wives are now in the appeal court, Supreme Court. They are taking over the institution. Our own now only complain, we will complain. No, we must begin to take action. And that action, as much as politically we must prepare people, people must begin to talk and take the right actions that will change the equation in Nigeria. So we're in court. I didn't want to go into most of the details to you when we see the judgment, so that some people who are also here recording us and using it to go and be negotiating with their so-called masters will not go and say, oh, they said this, that the court people I shouldn't have said. But some of the details
Yeah.
I share with the leaders here,
Yeah.
so that, hello?
Yeah, go on, go on. I can
Yeah,
hear you.
some of the details I share with the leaders here so that you can see for yourself and then decide whether we are on the right path. As for me, anything I get involved in, I get to the end of it. I don't just jump into issues. And so that's why when people were saying all kinds of things, see these guys, they're not serious. Immediately I won my election, I went to look for the obedient movement leaders. It's only Saddam I couldn't meet in Netherlands, even though I was in Netherlands at a time. And hopefully, my time in Netherlands in May was with some of my directors, so we didn't have much time to veer off. I hope that by next month, when I'm there, I will be able to see Saddam in person. But I was in America. We had meetings with the movement in UK, in America, tried to convince them because the lies about them were just too much. So I needed to build some confidence. But people believe what they want to believe. So for me, I need to be moving. I need to move. Nothing will distract me. Maybe except God say, then it's time to slow down. He is the one who will decide. But when I say I want to achieve something, I stand by it, and that's what has brought me this far. So I appreciate you. Why I decided that this matter I shouldn't keep quiet anymore was that let me call these people in the violent space. As they are talking, people may be listening. Some people's conscience may be pricked. And so let's see whether that will also add. But since I don't have the money to be paying, because me, I know if you pay, I don't even get the money to pay. Because to pay the lawyers, the flight tickets now is not even easy. 250,000. Our system have broken down totally. You can't buy a ticket. Those that are on their way there abroad. No, if you want to come here, begin buy your ticket now. You can't even buy a ticket from Port Harcourt to Abuja. If you don't buy 1 week before, you will not see it. But if you carry 250,000, 300,000 to the airport, you'll get tickets. So me, I don't even worry about all those long, because I don't know how to plan long journeys. I just wake up today and say, okay, make I travel today, or I have to do something now. So
All right.
uh,
All right. All right.
so
Thank you very much, Engineer Thanks. I mean, I liked how that was a very well put um, summary without having to divulge a lot, and which I expected you at least. So you didn't need to consist the case to the court. You actually said what needed to be said and what avoided what did not need to be said. So thank you very much, sir. And not believe the first Saddam up at that. Saddam, sorry, the so Saddam is not even in Netherlands. And the last I checked, Babadi Jeremy, I'm sure Saddam is somewhere else now.
I know say you know they are just I just used it.
So I think the best is when you when you want to see Saddam. Now the day when you want to see her 2 days, 3 days too. Now you go know where you there at that particular point in time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And it's good that you came up to say all this, to also let people know personally. I mean, I don't trust the Nigerian judicial system. And the good thing I like about you saying it is that you also know, but because you want to see it to the end, which is always very important. You have pursued it to this particular point, and please ensure, as much as it lies within your power, ensure to see it through to the logical conclusion for posterity purpose, not for anything, for posterity purpose.
Appeal is giving judgment
Yeah,
Monday. I never finish it.
yeah,
Don't
exactly,
finish it.
exactly. So no while we go see the follow up on this particular case, but you know it's good. These are held on a normal day. We're not supposed to be high God. Nigeria the 4%, and we're not supposed to think and say, okay, oh, what did the judgment be? What will not be? But anyway, it's left for the courts to judge. So we'll see it on Monday. Thank you
Yeah,
very much, sir.
yes.
All right, I know you're still around, so probably if
No,
anybody
I'm
wants.
around, and okay, maybe if yes, I'm around, and hopefully, if people have a few things, questions to ask, you can ask me.
Mm.
I'm here. So because we wear the shoes, so we know where they pinch nicely. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
So there are
what
things
you gave
that
us today is better learning from experience, actually. Like
yeah,
we're
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
to the end.
So
And I think that was the vital part of it.
I think I can start the question. Please, can I start the question? Let me just ask you one question. There's something very deep in my heart, and thank you very much, sir, and for your sacrifice, also for coming out. I want to ask a question. There's an upcoming elections in Edo State, and I'm very dear to. It's a state dear to my heart, and what people are doing there. So, from your experience, for the LP candidates, and for the obedience that run the elections over there, what is your advice? Your honest advice to them, because there are many of them on this platform right now. From your experience in the conduct of elections, off-cycle elections, what is that advice you will give them that they can latch on to and hold on to right now? Thank you.
okay, yes, Edo State is interesting because I am also a stakeholder in Edo State. My wife is from Edo State. I schooled in University of Benin, so I have part of my DNA embedded in Edo State. So I've been very interested. Our candidate, even before the time, had been a close friend, and before even he organized a retreat in Lagos where we shared a lot of experiences, and I warned from that point that the party is on the path of betrayal from its own institution. So our biggest problem in Edo State is Labour Party. That's the headquarters of the obedient movement. If there's anywhere we should use to make a statement, since Abia have already been in the bag, Bayelsa, we have lost Bayelsa. Edo State is a no-go area if our house was intact. But you see, we have poor people, poverty leading Labour Party, poverty leading Labour Party. That is a dangerous dimension. That's what have affected this party. And I warned. There was a meeting in Abuja. I took the mic. I told them that Edo State, you guys are looking at it. They are negotiating it. And that's the mess we have found ourselves. I think that if we can rally support, we should try to hold the obedient movement. Unfortunately, even that movement was infiltrated by people who are looking for money. So they are collecting from both the ruling party in Abuja and in the state to undermine that cohesion that we should have used to send a message to the world that look, Nigerians, we can be united if we want to. So the best I can do, just as I'm doing, is to also reach out to my people who are the judges, and a lot of the forces that are going to be players in this election are people who I also have been involved with one way or the other through the IYC. I talk to them here where I am right now. A lot of them are here. We have met severally to look at what support can be done to assist. Well, thank God, if I should say, there's a battle of the two big names, and then PDP is having a serious issue. Labour Party obviously will harvest if we stand firm and work hard. And then we have a very wonderful candidate in Akpata Olumide, who knew what he was going into and is prepared financially and strategically. For me, Edo is in our own hands. We can win Edo if the obedient movement can stand firm. Let's use that place to make a statement. You made a statement, the movement made a statement to the world. Edo State is like the headquarters of this movement. We cannot fall our hand now, Abba. So I think that we should rather talk to ourselves as a movement and look at the possibilities of getting the kind of leadership that first we used to send a message for 2027 to say, look, we are organized, we can still reorganize. So for those obedient movement members who betrayed the party, this is the time to redeem yourself. This is the time to stand up and say, that thing where I do, that money where I collect, make I use this one, prove myself. Because if you think that you are going to get away with it, you are wasting your time. All of us are in this mess. All of us, even you who sell your party, you are the one that will suffer it most. Because the man who bought from you will never take you seriously. Because he knows that you will sell when the chips are down. So when you think that you are a snitch inside your party against your own, you are doing yourself. Hello, sir. Look at Bayelsa now. Nothing they didn't tell them. They will give them commissioner. They will give them this. The commissioner list is over. None of them is involved. The man is not appointing any essays. They are there gossiping from one backyard and one beer parlor to the other, becoming a nuisance because the people know that this one, Nasela, rather it is me that they sold that they are talking to. Me, that's that they sold is the one they are calling for meetings and let us talk. Please, what do we do? But you know me, I don't hold any personal grudge against anybody. I just want the seat where no be you, your papa own. Now all of us sit. So I will not extend it to become personal enemies with people. No, I won't do that. But if you say you won't carry your enmity near me, oh, but me say I go do am with you. But for this issue of politics, I want to believe that it is my right to demand. And my first right of every man is his right to rebel. It's there in the United Nations Charter. My first right is my right to rebel. I am rebelling to say I don't want this. I want a change. So for Edo State, the obedient movement, let's begin to reach out. If you are one person here, reach out to another 10 persons. Make sure that you get back 10 people. That place was intact. What happened? Na greed, na poverty, na not being able to stand firm as a man. My grandmother told me, she said, drink gari and sleep than eat fried rice, make you not sleep. As I be drink gari. Men should be able to look the other way when these temptations arise. Because that money they didn't give you yesterday, they didn't give it to you day before yesterday, they didn't give it to you last year. Then they are bringing it because of election. It is worthless. So for Edo State, this what is happening, the battle, internal wars in the other party, is already giving us an edge. But how we are able to put ourselves together to harvest it is what is important. I believe very strongly in Akpata. He happened to be one of the best candidates that we have thrown up in recent times
Yeah.
because he came prepared. But his biggest undoing now is his own house, his own base, the base that gave him the confidence to come out. It is the base that gave Akpata the confidence to come out. That base is now the problem. So we can do a U-turn immediately and see what we can do to salvage the party from the Abure and his likes. Poverty being a disease. Don't ever pray. Build your children. Let them grow beyond this poverty. Look at what it's doing to us. Jettisoning the future of our country. And when I traveled with my staff, and I was showing them, went around Europe. I say when the Bible talked about heaven, when God in Genesis came up and said He's creating heaven and earth, the heaven now we will land, the rest now we black people. He has created you in His own image. Heaven is not a dirty place. When you hear that, oh boy, if you die, go heaven, you will see. I've gone into the religious discussion now. When you die, go heaven, you will see. Every time small prayer will come and sit down, gardens, gold. That's not. There is nowhere that you will die and go. You know, to anywhere. It is earth here. I cannot be here hoping to die and go and enjoy and suffer here. No, I don't believe in it. I don't know what anybody thinks. I don't believe in it. Here, this place, I will do what is necessary to make this place heaven. So that when I die, anyone want meet, no problem. We will suffer when we reach that side. But to say I will suffer here, hoping that I will go to one heaven, a lie. That's why the Igbo man have turned his environment to that heaven. That one that God talked about is your brain transforming your bush to the streets, the lights, the education, the basic amenities. That's what the Bible is talking about. So, Nigerians, a lot of us are misinterpreting the Bible. We are misinterpreting it to suit us.
Mm.
So, I think that it is time for us to decide, do we want to make progress?
Yeah.
Edo State, we can win that place. So, my brothers, those who have listened to me, let us begin to mobilize in Edo. Everything is working in Akpata's favor, but how we harvest it is important. And to do that is to bring back that base, the obedient headquarters, to prove to Nigerians that we were ready in the first place. And that's the only way we can be prepared for 2027. So, unity of the house, reorganization.
All right. Thank you very much, Engineer. Thanks. Thank you for that. And I mean, I can testify that Olumide Akpata was here at the beginning, just slightly after he won the primaries, and he actually also he categorically said, he said explicitly that I spoke to you specifically, mentioned your name, to learn from the cover. And as someone from Edo, I need to thank you. I know it's sad, but we are learning from your experience. We've learned. Thank you very much, sir. All right, quickly, let me just bring in Flag Boy. Flag Boy, I think you're struggling with your network, but that's fine. So let me just bring in Abraham. Hopefully, before Abraham finishes, Flag Boy will come, because I also want us to hear from Flag Boy today. Abraham, please go ahead. Abraham, are you there? Okay, I want to believe I caught you on fresh, but please do well to unmute your mic. If not, let me go straight to Lukumon.
Yeah, hey, hi guys.
Right.
Yeah, it's always refreshing to speak on here. And Engineer Odeng, I'd say don't give up yet. One of the biggest challenges we're facing is the poor education of the average Nigerian. And it's strategic, it's intentional. They have intentionally broken down the educational system so they can actually stall us from fixing the country. All I just want to say here is first things first, I don't care if Tinubu gives every councillor direct money to be able to do projects in every local government. He's still going to lose 2027 election. So I want that clear for everyone that's been sold out. But we need to understand that to beat these people, we have to beat them with strategy. The judicial system has been corrupt since thy kingdom come. They are building a house project for them presently because to actualize whatever evil they've planned against 2027, they require to have them. We're not looking at this from a bigger picture. We're not looking at this from the fact that you need to understand that the enemy of Nigeria is Nigerians itself. And the faction of people that are the enemies are actually a smaller number to the number of those that actually wanted to, to work out. But we also need to understand that strategy is required. I have no faith in the judicial system. And I also understand that the media has been bought out. I don't know if we understand that Bolivia had all over Africa lowered the volume, including the developed countries. They lowered the volume because it's important for them to keep this under the surface so that we would not be agitated and be upset. But I also need us to also understand that we are a very intelligent generation for a reason. And how to handle these guys is very easy. For me, I see that simple because it requires strategy. Um, I remember on a space before the election, I was telling somebody on a space, I think it was some Mazi or something, I can't remember. I know it's been bought over anyways. I told him that MK Abiola was the fraudulent fellow who was crooked enough and smart enough to re-strategize. And sadly, that's the reason why Babangida did not give him that support to become the president. But people put it down and said whatever it was. And that today you can see that there's no trace of his wealth. So I'm going to move back straight to the point. I need you to understand that Nigeria is poorly educated. Um, and we need three sectors to work. We need the engineering sector to work. We need the health sector to work. We need the accounting sector to work, and the legal sector to work. Today, people pay to get admissions to study law. People pay admissions to study engineering. People pay admissions to study healthcare. It's an intentional strategy to be able to hold it. So that's one side. Create another state from I think Kano also. I'm still following up on a few informations. It's all strategy. It's all strategy. But we can counter this strategy. Like I said, there are just a small number of persons that's doing it. Um, I did a small research and I realized that 95% of the people ruling us in the House of Senate, almost every position, every office is not even they are not even qualified. How on earth did they even get into that position in the first place? It means that we as citizens, we're not fully and duly informed because some people believe that it's none of our business. So, as long as I'm able to eat, I remember that was the national anthem some years ago, 10 years ago. As long as you can survive, you can feed yourself and your family in Nigeria, you don't have a problem. Today, we understand that even if you have the money, you can't actually feed, you can't survive, and it's important. So I need us to understand that our focus should remain on one, being selfless and helping one another. Two, helping is important for us to understand that our language is power. And it's important for us to groom persons that can speak these local languages, be it through the southwest, the southeast, wherever in Nigeria, to make sure that they're educating people. You see, because language is the first thing that unites people, irrespective of wherever they come from. As much as I'm Nigerian, when I get to French countries and I speak French, trust me, it's meltdown. So we need to create systems that will help to educate these people and be able to make them understand that listen, this is not about going to uni. You want the best education for your children. This is what has to come in. Then I also need us to provide youth
Yeah.
because they've been able to successfully brandish someone. I'm not going to mention his name, and news came to me that they brandished him because he's going to be the next youth governor for Osun State. And I looked at it and I thought of something saying, how on earth are we hanging here? Look at someone like Engineer Udeng, very qualified and everything. We have people, we need to brace up people and storm Labour Party. We can storm Labour Party, take over this because they're not going to let us register any new party, that's for
All
sure.
right.
So we'll take over Labour Party and re-strategize and make sure that we win these elections
All
with
right.
every evidences from top to bottom. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now I will call you Lukman. I know normally that's the way they call it. Thank you very much, Lukman, for that very brilliant submission. All right, quickly, Flag Boy is back now, so I'll Flag Boy, can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
yes, I can hear
that's
you.
better. So go ahead and make your submission. And we are short for time, so I know you probably want to. I don't know if you want to talk about just in a summary some of the things that happened today, and it's good to know you are not just today. I mean, it has been since some days now, but today there was also. But I must commend your resilience. One of the things I preached when Kenya was fighting was, or when they were battling for their country, was that what they have that we don't have, is resolve, or what you can call resilience, and that's just the truth. Many are angry, but few are resolved. Many are angry, but few are resilient. So it's crazy. So seeing someone like you that always does that, I think you deserve your flowers. So go ahead, flag boy.
Once again, good evening to everybody on this space. It all started on Monday. I came out on my normal protest, one man squad protest. So I went down to banners, and Nigerians were making video with the flag that I did, Hunger Day. So on my way back, then this popular Nollywood actor saw me, decided to park his car and join me in that protest, on my one man squad protest. So he came down, he took the flag that I wrote Hungry Day oh, and started shouting, Hungry Day oh, making videos.
Flag boy, can
So
you say the
within
person's name?
some
Do you
few
know the person's
minutes,
name?
Hank
Yeah,
Anoku,
go ahead.
Hank. So he started making videos. So within some few minutes, almost everybody around that Barnes area, people started coming out, shouting, Hungry Day, they won't kill us. Like it became something more real. So from there, I told him I'm heading towards Use Market. So he said him himself is also going towards that same direction. So he was in his car while I was trekking down. So he held the flag with one of his hands and he was driving his car. So when people keep seeing him with the flag, so the thing draw more attention. Getting down to that, to cut the long story short, getting down to Use Market, some policemen came to me. The DPO of Zone 3 police station said he came to me and said he's disappointed that I have his number, I know him, that if I want to do protest, I would have called him or go to his office. I said I did not do any violent protest. I'm doing my one man squad protest that I normally do for more than a year now. When the a legendary celebrity Nollywood actor Hank Anoku came and took my flag to make videos, that was when Nigerians saw him and came out and started shouting on their voice that there is hunger in the land. So that moment, he said I should fold my flag and follow him. That like, I should follow him to his office. He wants to advise me on how to go about it. So I told him that I'm trusting him. He said no problem. I should follow him. That I should follow him to Zone 3 police station. Then I followed him. There was a barrister that was with me, Barrister Morris. He was also part of the protest. He came there and met us when we were doing the protest. So they took me, the barrister insisted to follow me. So he followed. They took me and him to a command instead of three, just like he said initially. So getting to command, they took me to the deputy commissioner of FCT. That there I went inside. There were about 3 to 4 senior officers, including some female officers, high-ranked police officers. So I told the man that I've been doing this for long, that I've never constituted any nuisance and I've never caused any problem. My one-man protest has been going on for long. The man told me that he knows me, that he has been seeing me, saying that he does not know what happened today, that who is sponsoring me. I said, nobody is sponsoring me. So the lawyer had pleaded with him that he should forgive and he should let the matter go. So along the line, he said that he was going to deal with me, and he asked the policeman to take me outside. So they took me outside. We sat down for almost 1 hour, 2 hours plus. Then they now took me to the office upstairs. When they were about taking me to upstairs, that was when I did a video. And I said, Nigerians, I did command in case when I no see me, the police hold me. So they took me to the office of the Commissioner of Police FCT. Getting to the office, they said I should wait at the reception there. So them, where some police officers were sitting down, myself and the lawyer, we sat down there waiting for them. They went inside to have a conversation with the commissioner. But I don't know about the outcome of their conversation. After some hours, they now took myself and the lawyer down to Zone 3 police station, where they took my statement and asked me to call my people. So that was when I was able to reach out to some people, and the lawyer also called his colleagues. About 3 or 4 of them, they came, and the police people took my flags, my Nigerian flag and my Hungry Day flag with my jambos, which I gave to one other policeman. They kept it and brought one paper and took my thumbprint, my 10 fingers. They took the thumbprint. Then they asked me to go and come back the next day, being Tuesday night. So I said I should come around 10, which I did. I came there, I met with the DPO. He said no problem, that I can go whenever he needs me. He's going to call me. I asked about my materials. He said no problem, that he's going to give it to me later, and I should go for now. So I left. Today, he just called me. I don't know what happened. He started calling me that I should come to the station. I should come and take the material. I said I went out. I'm not around. Once I come back, I'll meet up with him. The next 2, 3, 5 minutes, he called me again that I should come and take, that he's waiting for me. I said, no problem, sir, I'm coming. Like the same 3, 5 minutes again, he called me again. I told him that, sir, it's just for me to come and collect my flag, that I'm coming. When I get to your office, I'll come and take it. He said that I should come now. I said, sir, do you want to arrest me again? What have I done this time? I didn't come out to protest. And it's as if you want to arrest me because I'm sensing it. He said, no, that I should trust him, that I should just come. That he wants me to sign up some things then before he can release my items to me. I said, no problem, sir. So I reached out to some people. I told them that this is what is going on. They said I should not go there alone. If I'm to go there, I should go with somebody, maybe like a lawyer or something. I said, okay, no problem. Me, I don't have any lawyer. So I didn't go. I came back from where I went to. I went to the shop. So I received a call that 2 police officers are looking for me. So I came to the shop. I met with them. They said the DPO said I should come to the station. I should follow them to the station. I said, no problem, that I've had a conversation with the DPO earlier on, that I've told him that I'll be coming once I'm done with what I'm doing. The other one said, no, that I have to follow them now. That was when I asked the officer that, am I being under arrest? Are you guys here to arrest me, or you're here to invite me? The other one said that they are here to invite me. Then I told him that if you're here to invite me, if you're here to arrest me, then you show me your arrest warrant. Then I will sincerely follow you guys. But if you're here to invite me, then you have to go. According to the Nigerian constitution, I have my right to accept your invitation, to acknowledge your invitation on my own comfortable time. I will come. The man said no, I have to follow them. I said, okay, let me call the DPO and tell him that I'm still busy. I brought out my phone to make call. He started dragging my phone with me, held my shirt. The other one held my trouser. They were dragging me, tore all my clothes. That was what dragged the attention of almost everybody in the market. What happened? What happened? Then I said I was arrested on Monday for protesting Hungry Day. Then today they are coming again to come and arrest me again. So I don't know what I did. So the thing got everybody angry. People started reacting that you people will not take him, oh, he's not going anywhere. So they started shouting. So it overwhelmed them. They called their DPO. The DPO came with some police officers again started to whine me that I should just follow him. It's just an interview. They want to grant me an interview. I said, whatever interview, they should do it here in the market where Nigerians can see what is going on, what they want to do to me. They should do it here where Nigerians are seeing. They should not do it in the hidden. So they insisted, started dragging. People started making videos. That was when they had to leave me.
Okay.
Then somebody called me to tell me that they have informed DSS to come and pick me. So I have to leave them. I just squeeze my way out and leave the market.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
And sorry, there's one of those officers that is staying around my area that knows my house very well. So that's the main reason I cannot go close to my house. I just had to go and stay somewhere before I was able to get a hotel to
All
stay.
right. All right. Thank you very much, Flag Boy. I wanted you to go through. It's quite sad, but for me, when you spoke, what just came to my mind is the fact that, I mean, nobody says it was gonna be easy, and it's just you, like just you, one man. That's why they haven't able to pull all this like this. I really wish we get more people, like more people with you on this.
Flag boy, please, give your account number. Someone wants to send you 100,000. Please send it to me now, please. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Flag Boy. I mean, to be honest, what you the risk you take. So why it looks like a risk is because you are having to take it alone most of the time, because every other person or most other people are not willing to get to that level, especially like Nigerians. That's why it looks like a risk. But truth is that if what Flag Boy is doing, how resilient he is, we have more people. So now I've said the other day that, so now 2 million people you talk, I say, what is 2 million people they do? 20,000, only 20K. You know, hands over to the president. If you can get a couple of people that are very resilient, like Flag Boy would go a long way in demanding this, and he does it even with a lot of respect. So, Flag Boy, thank you very much for that. It's good to know that. I'm sure everybody's happy to know that you are safe, you are doing fine, and it's good that this is also in the public domain, so that people can know. Because police they operate. Imagine coming to arrest. You say you did not come to arrest. You came to invite, but the person must follow you. The person wants to call DPO. You say no. Police go to do like kidnapper. Police will be one of the people. In fact, police will be one of the enemies of working Nigeria. For one of the episodes, we did, especially because apparently there are people that are victims the most, but still the enemies of a working Nigeria. This police will get for this country. But anyway, thank you very much. I mean, it has been somewhat of a diverse space. So let's just take as many speakers as we can take. Of course, our topic is still the enemies of Nigeria, with keen focus today on the religious system, the religious leaders of Nigeria, Muslim, Christian, who your native doctor is, like the religious system of Nigeria, but pretty much we know the major religions in Nigeria that is being used by politicians and even the religious leaders themselves to manipulate people with Christianity and Islam as well. So that's one of our topic. Then we have here engineer. I'm glad because what engineer Uden's narrated is pretty much something that we all should learn. For me, engineer Uden's submission, that's why it took that long, was a class, something we should learn. So if you also have like questions, we'll try to take as much as we can take, whether questions for engineer Uden's or just a submission directly. But don't forget, again, I want to announce it. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., we are going to be having Ireti Kingibe on Parallel Fight. The Parallel Fight guys are going to be inviting Ireti Kingibe tomorrow, 6 p.m. While on Monday, Olumide Akpata himself is going to be on 1MMC. For those people that say, oh, you don't, if I find that a good opportunity so that I can contribute directly to Olumide Akpata, and people will not say, we'll not have any stories that touch. So please have those two spaces at the back of your mind. But quickly, let me go now. Let me try Abraham again. I've called you before, but I don't know if you are there. If you're not there,
Let me just add one
yeah,
more
go
thing.
ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother Flag. But you see, in my earlier submission, I was saying about how much we make heroes out of people, and Nigerians we abdicate our duties to our fellow Nigerians. What we are meant to do as a collective, we want one person to do it. We are always masters at blaming, always finding who to blame, finding who to point fingers to. Oh, they not protest Buhari, and the South will now they say it's South did not protest Buhari, but it's not blame the North. They not say no. We are always looking for who to blame. We are always looking for who to throw fingers at. We will never want to do it ourselves. You know what I mean? I really disagree with my brother's tweet. He made up a tweet earlier on today and he said, help a family, adopt family. It is this same thing we are doing. We are the ones, we the people are the problem of Nigeria. I totally agree with Engineer Udengs. We are the reason why politicians are happy in that country. We are the reason why politicians are moving freely. We're the reason why Nigerians, what we should do, hold our people accountable. No, we always want to find ways to we don't have road in your area. You can't buy code. You can't buy this thing. Stones. Fill up the road. You don't have light. You buy generator. You don't have water. You build ball. We always find solutions to problems that government are meant to handle. It's a problem. It's a problem. We have to collectively, as the people, stand up and do things for ourselves. Nobody's coming to save us. All this hero worshipping. Look at that guy that even clamped mass. In a state society, all Nigerian youth, all of us supposed to rally behind that guy. Instead, some people are insulting him. Ha ha ha. When he suffer, he go tire, come down. Yeah. We are the problem, honestly speaking. So that's why Tinubu and the rest are having a field day. We find more energy in insulting ourselves, bantering ourselves and the rest than actually holding these people to feet to fire. Opposition that we have for 1 year plus. This is the worst time ever to be a Nigerian. This is the worst. What is happening in Nigeria right now? If APC were in opposition under this government, Nigeria will be up in flames by now. But we don't even know how to even play opposition. Position of tearing ourselves down. It's just crazy, honestly speaking. I also hope we do better, Sha. Well, Nigeria flag boy, please check your DM, please. You're the kind of people that people should be encouraging, giving money. If anybody tells you and beg for money, tell that person to freaking go and hit the streets or do something. Nobody, what? Flag boy get two heads. Flag boy get two heads, and you're in Nigeria. Go and carry your own flag also and this and mobilize. You come to beg me for my DM. If you enter my DM, I go bring the cost on all of ourselves. Because nonsense is getting too much. We entertain nonsense in this country a lot. I want Nigeria back to you, please.
Yeah, Salam. I totally Henry. I don't know if you are muting intentionally, but maybe just your phone. Salam, I totally agree with you. That's why I said just now that why it looks big, all this now, dangerous and all that. This thing is not. Tinubu is also afraid of this thing. They don't want to spark anything. That's just the fact. So why it looks like this is because what a lot of people are supposed to do, only Flyboy, is going to do it. And people derive joy from it's crazy. We need to do better. All right, quickly, let me go straight to Abraham. If you are not there, Abraham, are you there? 3, 2, 1, gone. All right, quickly, I'm going to go straight to sorry. Henry, you have been here for like some time, but the problem is your hand is not up. So I'm always, because most of the time when I look at the speaker session, I only just see those that the hands are up. So Henry, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Now where you did inside bush, we can hear the noise of your background more than your voice. If you are using the earpiece, maybe you should take it off.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
go on.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, Saddam. Good evening, Wemini. Good evening, everyone. All protocols observed. I want to thank you guys again, for keeping the fire burning. I'm happy that we are arrived at this particular juncture right now, because last year and the previous year, we all hammering on all these things that have been happening in Nigeria, and people did not listen. So, following the topics of today, the enemies of our work in Nigeria is, my answer is Nigerians are the enemy. We are our enemies. Just to reiterate what Engineer Udengs have said, and as a matter of fact, Engineer Udengs is my boss. I worked with him when I was in South Africa. Everything this man has said is true. And Udens is a man that has capacity to give capacity to people. I've seen him do it. I've seen him gone out of his way to also do it. So anything he's saying is true. I've supported him right from the first day I met him at the conference in South Africa when they came for Niger Delta conference. I've seen that this man is a man that is on a mission and a man that has the capacity to drive change in a society. So I just want to give a little synopsis about what Udens have done in the past so that we will know who the man is and where he's coming from. In 2011, when we had the amnesty program, by the way, the amnesty program that came into being after Yar'Adua died or during the time of Yar'Adua was also facilitated by people like Udens. He was part of the people that started the process of surrendering the militants to surrender their arms and to have amnesty with the government. By discussing with them, he was going to the creeks. In fact, many times his life was threatened. By that time, he was the Secretary General of the Ijaw Youth Council when Chris Ekio was the President General at that time. So everything this man have said, for instance, when we were doing the amnesty program, among all the vendors that brought people for training outside the country, Udens was the only one that gave all the militants that came for those training the best of accommodation, the best of foods, the best of lifestyle, like what they need to be doing, where they need to go. We're taking them on vacation, we're taking them for sightseeing. He was explaining all these things. This is the way that Bayelsa is supposed to be. This is the way that the Niger Delta is supposed to be, exposing them. Like he rightly said, the biggest thing any man can have for himself is exposure. Most of our politicians are not exposed, or rather, they are exposed, but they're just wicked. Because you travel and you see some of all these amenities, all these infrastructures that have been working in other countries, but they refuse to replicate them back in Nigeria. So this is some of the things that I say that I blame the Nigerian system because we are part of the problem. In fact, we are the core problem of Nigeria. If we can unite, remove bigotry, remove ethnicity, remove religion, remove personal interest or vested interest, I can say, Nigeria will work. Nigeria can work. This is what we have seen in our principal. Peter Obi is somebody that have shown that he has no vested interest in anything or in anybody. He just wants to see the country work. If half of our politicians can have the same mindset, Nigeria is truly going to work. So in all these things that I'm saying,
Yeah.
let us call out our leaders. Let us call out our religious leaders. There was a time I sent a tweet out to Tunde Bakari. I remember in 1999 when I was attending his church, he said he was not going to vote, and he does not have any intention to be voted for. And lo and behold, in 2019, he came out for election. And I sent a tweet on my Twitter at that time. I said, "You said this thing in so and so year. What has changed? What has changed? You are running as a running back to a man who has case to answer with the PTF that stole so much money, did not have any good program in the PTF,
Yeah.
cannot even account for the money that was given to him under Abacha. Now you are running as a running mate for him. What has changed?" So until we begin to call out our politicians, call out our leaders, even call out our parents, just like the way Jimmy did, calling out his father, strengthening him and letting him know that the Omoluabi that you are talking about, you are not following that direction. What has changed? So these are the things that we need to do. So I want to say hi to my boss, Udens Eraderi. This is Emeka. I'm calling from Canada. And I wish all of us the strength. I wish all of us,
All right.
the tenacity for us to keep on the fire burning.
All
May
right.
God bless you all. And I hope I come alive and see you guys alive as well. May
All
God
right.
bless
Thank you.
Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Henry. Thank you for that brilliant submission. I mean, those are testaments to what Dex can do. We know. All right, quickly, I'm just going to go straight to Office of the Nigerian Citizen. After which, we're going to take a lady, so I'm going to take Rita. I'll take it from there.
Well, meaning, God bless you. Good evening, good morning, good night, whatever is good. I wish us all the best. Thank you very much for the opportunity to have this conversation. I have been a strong proponent of helping or educating Nigerians about who their enemies are. It's something that I've been pushing for the better part of 1 year, as far as I can tell, because the moment Nigerians understand who their enemies are, half of our problem is solved. Right. I always say this, that with the chaos that is coming, or what is currently happening, you can be sure that there are people that are looking for how to seize this opportunity. There are opportunists that will be sitting on the sidelines looking for how to seize an opportunity and make a mess of this whole bubble when it eventually bursts. So I'm glad that we are telling ourselves now, trying to identify those that are really the enemies of our dear nation. And yes, we are looking at the religious aspects. Well, I believe that I personally have flogged a lot about the religious aspect. I have dragged everybody that needs to be dragged in the religious aspect. But I like to say this. I'm going to be addressing those that are my friends in the body of Christ. I'm saying this from a position of love. I attend a good number of denominations. I've attended virtually almost every denomination I can tell in Nigeria. The only place I have not gone is the Ekanka people. I'm trying to understand that, but every
Don't go
other one you
sell
can
it.
mention.
Don't go sell it.
I don't go Kiribu and Seraphim. I don't go Sele. I don't go Grey Mercy. I don't go Redeem. I don't go Deeper Life. I don't go. I used to be in I attended Catholic. There is no one where I don't go. I don't go Anglican. Mention it. I've been to many denominations in my life. As far as I can
Now
tell, the
you
only one
be
where
the
I don't see, I
general
never.
overseer.
The only one where I never sit down, enter, Ekanta. Anyway, that's by the way. I'm saying this from a position of love and from understanding of the various denominations in Nigeria. There is something that we like to do where we try to quote scripture and not understand the conditions that come with the blessings that we ask, or that we say. There is a common one where they say by this time tomorrow, you will things will be better. I know people like to say that thing. When somebody comes and say tomorrow will be good, IMF, no matter what IMF does, the naira will rise again. You hear all these kinds of things, right? People don't realize that when the prophet said by this time tomorrow, if the lepers did not take courage and go into the enemy's camp, one, if the average Israelites did not take courage and go to the enemy's camp, Israel will die poor. So when people want to take hold of good things, they need to understand that faith without works is dead. See, we know how when we pray to God today, and we don't get answers, what do? We pray again tomorrow. But you know the issue? When we try to fight for good governance today and it does not work, we go back and we chill and we say, oh, may God be praised, Jare, it is the will of God. Why? Why is it that when it is time to pray to God, we PUSH, pray until something happens, right? But when it is time to actually do something that is good for your family and for your future, we act so docile. It is a very, very, and that's why there are two groups of people that I do not really like. It's our religious leaders and our traditional leaders, because they don't vote these people in. They technically stay there for life, so they have they have more power than they realize. They just need to tell people, and that's why if you want to. Look at what happened to Tony Abraham, the Tony Abraham saga, where Nigerians rose up. I wish Nigerians would be able to rise up in this same manner against the people that are holding Nigeria on a chokehold. Do you know how much Nigeria loses to crude oil every day? 460,000 barrels is a conservative number. Engineer Udengs is here. Maybe he even knows these numbers, but better than I do, right? I just did a rough estimation. 460,000 barrels is a conservative number. To be losing, because we should be producing at least 2 point something million. We are producing around 1.4 to 1.5, right? Now, if I multiply 460,000 barrels by $89 per barrel and convert that to naira, that thing is 56 billion.
So this country, some people, I'm talking about money that is lost, not money that we have. Now, if 500, if 556 billion, 50, some people say 60 billion, if that amount of money is being stolen every day in this country, and the average Nigerian cannot even afford, the people that are stealing that money cannot give you 30,000 in a month. Nigerians are not poor. Nigerians are stupid. And that includes all of us. Because if you sit down in your house, the person that should be giving you your money is stealing it brazenly in your front, doing nothing about, and you are doing nothing about it. You are not poor, man. You are just a foolish person. It's why I tell you that I say that Nigeria is a congregation of idiots. That's the summary of it. Because somebody like Flagboy, now, classic example again, I'm going to try to round up with this. Classic example again, look at Flagboy telling his story. And as far as I can tell, there are like 700 people in this place. Even if not even tweet at police and say, don't you dare touch Flagboy. Something as simple as that. It will take you 30 seconds to do. At least try to threaten police, make they no touch the one where they even try to work. But everybody will chill and go to bed and say, oh, we hope for the best. Once again, same mindset, where we know how to pray well for the things that we want for our selfish interests. But when it is time to actually do something that really affects the future of our children, we go back and sit back and hope for the best. The scourge of being African. Not even African, because the Kenyans are they are even showing us what it means to be African. The scourge of being Nigerian. So who exactly bewitched us in this country that we will just sit back and do nothing? And somebody climbs up a mast and decides that he's tired of his life and he's tired of his country. And instead of people to do something about it, what they do is that they continue to abuse him. They will come there and do nothing about it. And that's why engineer Dennis will tell us that we are not really suffering enough. Like Buba Galadima says, if they not agree, if they decide to continue like this, let them die. Last thing, sorry, 30 seconds. When I see old women complain about this country, I don't have pity for anybody, young or old.
Yeah.
Because when a young man will go, when a young man will go and he will go and try to protest, the old women and the old men will say, oh, don't go out, you're going to die. Oh, this. See, it's time for us to stop really caressing each other in this country. I beg. At this point, I yield the mic. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you very much, Office of the Nigerian Citizen. All right, quickly, let me just move over to Rita, after which I'll come to Prince. Rita, please quickly go ahead.
All right, thank you all, meaning Emir Sadam, Mambolanle, everybody on the speaker section, listeners on Facebook, YouTube, radio station. I greet everybody, especially. Thank you once again for this great opportunity to speak to Nigerians again. Okay, our topics on violence spacing, guys, are they're usually great. But for me, this one is huge because we are beginning to tackle our problems from the taproot. You see, in the times, then we have, the topic now, the enemies of Nigeria, of a working Nigeria, religious leaders in brackets. You see, in the times of old, the men of God were the ones encouraging the haves to share their bread, their wealth with the have-nots. The poor, with the poor people. They even encourage them to bring the food to the church. And at the end of the day, they call it breaking of bread. They share it amongst themselves, including the pastor and his family. Everybody eat from that same food. The population grew to an extent that the food were no longer going round, and some were complaining. They went ahead to appoint 7 deacons, namely Stephen, Philip, Prochorus, Nicanor, Timon, Parmenas, and Nicholas, to make sure that everybody there have something to eat. Even though you poor, see, church rats rich past yourself, you must have something to eat. But the Nigerian men of God that we have today, 90%, if not 99% of them, they are even their lifestyles are even the ones giving morals to guys to do Yahoo right now. Because I don't understand. Me that does not know how the wheel of a bicycle looks like. The little money I am working, you say pay tithe as okay, I'm paying tithe. I'll come and drop it as tithes. I'll come and drop it as offering. I'll come and drop it as seed of faith. I'll come and drop it as an evangelism seed. I'll come and drop it as I'm traveling, I'm praying for protection. I'll come and drop all kinds of seeds. You will be driving, flying on private jets. And I understand as your member that you do not have any meaningful job or business that you're doing other than being a pastor. What are you telling me to go and do? What are you telling me to go and do? And you'll be telling me my God is not a poor God. Of course, my God is not a poor God. In the country we are in, there are no jobs. What else are you telling me to go and do? The politicians that you were supposed to hold accountable as a man that have flocks that is leading, that you're supposed to hold accountable, you will be collecting ill-gotten money from them. Even when you know a lot of them are
Okay, normal level. It's not just only me.
broad.
Rita,
Hello? Oh God. Can you hear me?
we are losing you actually.
Oh my God, not again. Can you
Yeah, we
hear
can
me
hear you
now?
now. Just go ahead and round up. Yeah.
Okay. Headache, you use the money of your free members, you fly abroad to go and treat yourself. And when your members are sick, you tell them to come and sleep in the house of God. You give them anointing oil. Yes, anointing oil is beautiful. It is working oil to use. Why can't you use it yourself too? Why would you have to take money from politicians, the same people you're supposed to hold accountable, to make sure they create problem we are having
Rita,
with him
the
people
losing
right
you
now?
a lot. So,
Oh my God, it's painful.
all right. Yeah.
It's okay. Someone else should.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can't hear you now. Okay. Okay. All right. Quickly, let me just move over to Prince. But Rita, thank you. We had. I'm sure people will be able to put together some of the things you said. It's quite unfortunate that in Nigeria the focus is on giving and all those kind of things. Meanwhile, that's not what it's really about. But it is what it is. All right, quickly, I'm going to go straight to Prince. After Prince, I'm coming to Chris, then Jay the Ark, then Willie Roberts.
Okay. Good evening from here. Like you said, it is what it is, my brother. I hope I can be heard.
Yes, go on, can hear you.
Okay. Um, all protocols duly observed. I I requested for the man because of Flag Boy. You know, a few days ago he was arrested, and one or two persons reached out to me. There's a need for us to stand by him. So what we did yesterday, we wrote a letter. We took it to Ministry of Justice, then to Force Headquarters, informing them that we are going to be on the street today in solidarity to Flag Boy. And that was exactly what we did today. And why am I saying this? I'm saying, and I even told them even yesterday while we were there, for every one Flag Boy you will arrest, many more will arise. They seized his flag with that inscription, Hunger Day. we have already produced 5, and we use it today. We marched from Force headquarters to Secretariat by Ego Square today. And when we got to the Secretariat, even the workers, though they tried sending some of their folks even after us, because they tried, a way to follow us to know who sent us or where we're from and stuff like that. And we made
Prince,
them know that.
I was just hoping you probably say this as a very short summary, so we don't derail the topic a lot.
Okay, in summary, um, we are reaching out to other people to join what we are doing in Abuja so as to raise more of such flags. Like I said, we have produced 5 already, and we marched today in solidarity, and we will continue to do that. So if the police and DSS are here, you will not just arrest Mike, you will arrest me and many more people. And for as soon as you arrest us, many more people will arise. Thank you and God bless you. Good night,
All right,
everyone.
thank you very much, Prince, for that call. I mean, that's how it should be. And thanks for what you guys did today. It's kind of and this is what it's supposed to be. When this whole thing happened on Monday, like when Flatboy got more like detained that Monday, one would think that hey, they don't kill this guy spirit God, no, this Flatboy will still see the money, they don't kill his spirit. I fear yesterday I see flyer again. I said, this guy, that you want that. I said, this guy maybe don't do this flyer since. Today it was out there again. And that's what we need, resilience. It's not, they do that, they just, hey, everybody is wrong. I say, they will kill us, they will finish us. So make we just rest. If you persist, if we can persist as Nigerians, that's just that's the only thing I just lacking. That's persistence. Even in election, like for 2023 election, we were all in, like we came, but persistence. That last point, just okay, remain was was something that people kind of struggled with. All right. Anyway, thank you very much, Prince, and thanks to everybody that joined you today. All right, quickly, Chris, please go ahead. After Chris, J, the architect.
Bro, thanks, Jerry. Hello everyone on the space. So I hear say we dey roast enemies of Nigeria, and we are starting with
Chris, you never chop.
the
Which I this guy now what you say that is.
if I tell you the matter right there, you know what happened to me today. I take my medicine in the morning. The thing called they do me sleep. My HR can't call me say "Me, I do one small thing. As I do that one, I just see message, flag boy. Now I said, no, this flag boy own, we go hold space. On top that space, I don't high. The minutes don't make me high. Come black I dey sleep. I dey tell Jagu say, guy, only you go on though. Somebody come DM me say, guy, take sugar. Meanwhile, I know they drink soda. I drink 3 cans of Fanta just to stay on that space. So like this, you go bear with me. See, and religious leaders, now we take the start of it. Look, for me, they get their own problem with the religious leaders. For me, the main problem are the followers. You see, Christians for Nigeria, we get Christianity for Nigeria, you get problem. And are the followers now then was pass. First he climb pulpit, he tell you say he drive on empty. Petrol tank empty. He drive am from whether from Shagamu or drive am reach Lagos. You sit down, you dey clap, you dey say amen. Person tell you say you go Colorado, go hold snow. You dey clap, you dey say God of one thing. Person tell you say may you know watch television, may you know wear skirt, may you know take blood. Do you know how many people we lost obeying such doctrines? You don't want blood transfusion because your pastor say it's devilish. Now the followers there, now we be the number one enemy of the country. If we are talking about religion, yeah, now we was past. And those people, when you call out their pastors, they go fight you. and they go fight you. First, go tell you, say make you bring your first fruit. Your mama don't send you go school for how many years? She dey live for one room, face me, I face you. God gon bless you, get job of 400K. Say me you quick go rent house for your mama. You say you go give pastor because say you bring you dey mad. The followers are the problem. They think that they know God. They know, see, 99% of Christians within Nigeria right now, anybody who want come at DM, come drag me. They don't know God. Because if you know God for yourself, you know say God is a benevolent God. You know go tell you, may you bring that 400K, come give him when your mama they sleep inside shit. You know go tell you like that. Rubbish. Now we be the problem. Not the pastors, they are all small, now the followers. By the way, Flag Boy, if you still here, somebody reached out to me in the K saying don't send how much I don't forget. But he sent something to you if it's there, but I'll try to call you too as well. Thank you, well meaning.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. Chris be like persuaded, don't tell before say make you go bring it for make you go bring it first salary.
Guy,
The thing is
no
pay
be
that.
lie.
Is it a pay?
Guy, you see they pay me today. And I go
Anyway.
talk am for here. Pastor, tell my mama, say make I be Catholic, oh. Because you know, say my uncle na redeemed. Go tell your wife, say me they tell me, say since I don't get this job. That was my first job. I was 20. Say me they tell and say make me carry my 348, can't give you. I be the mad.
Anyway, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. All right, quickly let me go straight to Jay the architect. After which I'll come to V level bit.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Saddam, well-meaning, Bonale, everybody on the space, Flag Boy. I greet you all this evening. Well, what I want to say is that the truth of the matter is that religious leaders have dealt with us in this country, and the truth of if the truth of the matter is that in this Nigeria, if you know how much that is used to fund some of these mega churches, you lose hope in Nigeria. And then if you know how much politicians donate to these churches, every election cycle, you will lose hope for the country. And to be honest with you, I used to be very committed, and I'm still committed, but there's a way I used to see some of these father faith in quotes. Before I used to really respect them and all of that. But to be honest with you, since I think I started having a rethink in 2019, 2020, seeing how some of them behave publicly, seeing how some of them have decided publicly to never condemn the evil things that are going on in the country. Let's take for an instance ROCCG. I really respect Pastor Adeboye, but I mean, you are seeing all these things going in the country. You have a voice, you have a platform, you have the number, you have the crowd, and you cannot even say anything. How does that even make sense? In the time of Jesus Christ, with all due respect to Muslims in this space, in the time of Jesus Christ called out the ills of society. He didn't just keep quiet when things were going wrong in the society. He called out the hypocrisy of the Pharisees. He called out the hypocrisy of the Sadducees, and he didn't just keep quiet. And it's expected of us as Nigerian young people to call out this. I don't care about whatever elder. Sometimes they say, oh, you honor this person, and things are going wrong in the country. How does it even make sense? Somebody is a pastor, he claims to be a pastor in quotes. The person is with a Rolls Royce, the person has private jets. Excuse me. The Christian in the world that has preached to the most people on earth is Billy Graham. Billy Graham has preached to most people on earth after Jesus Christ. Billy Graham never had a private jet, and he's the most influential Christian who preached to millions, evangelized to millions. So how can you explain to me that in Nigeria, a poor country where citizens are struggling to even eat, there's somebody out there that has more than one private jet, funds his expensive lifestyle, and the expense of members who are seated in church looking up to God and praying that tomorrow will be better, when tomorrow is already better for the leader. The leader that is ruling the church, that is overseeing all the administration, everything is already secured for him. His children are schooling outside the country. He has businesses, he has offshore bank accounts, and he's running his life in luxury. And then there's a member, Paul,
still hoping on God that, oh, God will touch Nigeria. Let us pray for Nigeria. Let Nigeria get better. Oh, a lot of we have lost it in this country. And it's very sad when you see young people tell you, oh, do not call out this father, do not call out that father. Oh, is our father. We are not meant to. And the person is robbing you of your future. This is 2015 was just how many years ago? The disaster came into presidency as Buhari came into presidency and became the leader. 8 years has already gone. I remember 2015, I was writing my WAEC in SS3. And I remember thinking that, wow, that probably in the next 10 years, 2024, 2025, Nigeria would have seen one kind of level of development. And my life is already going down and nothing is happening in this country, all thanks to the hypocrisy of religious leaders. And to a very large extent, it doesn't just extend to the Christian faith. It's not just limited to the Christian faith. It also extends to the Islamic faith. We see imams that are being silenced. Immediately you just speak out the truth, they just silence them. You don't hear from them again. There's this imam of this mosque in Abuja that spoke up, imam rather, that spoke up, and all of a sudden, they just silenced him. Religious leaders in this country are messing up. It's not the same in other parts of the world, but in Nigeria they are messing up because they are indirectly benefiting from the government. And if we do not call them out, they will continue to fund their lifestyle. They will continue to live in luxury at the expense of the common citizen. Thank you, and I yield my mic.
All right, thank you very much, JD Architect. That was a very, I mean, you're spot on everything you said in that submission. It's unfortunate what we see in Nigeria now is it's pretty much just something else. Um, I don't know. It's what's happening in Nigeria. It's really sad. It's really sad to build. Vileva Bless, please go ahead. After which I'll just come to speech.
All right. Can you hear me? Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Your background is very noisy.
Okay. Let me just step out a bit. I had to come down to. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I mean, we'll try. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending where you're speaking from. I want to thank everyone that's here at this point. And some of the things I had in mind, a whole lot of you have actually, captured it very succinctly. But because the times want to be brief, but I can I wanted to talk about a dose, specifically, but I won't resist the temptation of actually talking about religion because it's one thing that always get me worked up, and one thing that gets me angry is even the people who knows that religion is bad, like the evil, the atrocities of this coming of God. When you talk about it, somehow they still find a place in their hearts to feel that you're not doing the right thing, or calling them out is not proper. And they still go to church on Sunday. They still go and sing and pay tithes. They still do all the normal thing as people who will save them, and it's a problem. And the consciousness I want us to have, which a lot of people have actually said here, is that the same energy that we use to condemn politicians, we should use that same energy to condemn our religious leaders. Because in short, they're even worse. More than how many politicians drive private jets in this country? How many of them drive private jets? Christ Embassy's church just got it with fire the other day. That church is worth millions of dollars. And the man just said, don't worry, we are going to build another one. On whose back? God is not even in that church. And that church has not actually profited anything to this country. It has not fixed one road. It has not normalized anything. But he said he's going to build another one. And that is what we see everywhere. Somebody is telling members of the church, these things they're not like Greater Tomorrow Pastor. These are our biggest daddies. I was listening to a sermon the other few days ago, and the man said, "Oh, don't need to worry about going to visa with America. That you will just sleep in your house and you wake up and you'll be in America. A time will come when you don't have to bother to go to America with visa." Telling you this thing has private jets. He has fleet of cars. He's living in comfort. He has jets, and he's telling you that because he knows that he's not going to tell you that you're going to buy private jet, but he's not telling you that you have to live in that One day you wake up, you'll be in America, you don't need to bother yourself. These are the kind of atrocity that is going on in Nigeria. And everywhere in Nigeria is bad. Like things are getting worse. We have religious leaders. And like somebody noted, both in the south, in the north, if the same way we should vent, against our GOs, that's the same way those our Muslim brothers should also vent in northern Nigeria. It's made in the mosque. It's made among the clerics. They are the one who tell their people who to vote and who not to vote during election. And no matter the level of poverty in that place, they don't take time to even teach. You can imagine if the clerics in the north can even talk about education, say our political leaders should actually educate our people. You can imagine if they should do that, the way they convince them to vote a certain way during the election. You can imagine if our leaders, our GOs in the south, our Christian leaders, can actually encourage people and say, no, this government to church every Sunday. All of them pour out in the streets. Nigeria will change overnight. But they will not do it because they're also benefiting from the corrupt system. If Nigeria is working, you will see people go to church and waste their time all the time. Just read my lips. I've told people on this group always, there is nobody that is more Christian than me. You cannot. God does not love you more than me. He said he created us in our own image. So this idea of somebody, you're seeing somebody else, it's not your God. There are so many people in the world today who does not even believe in God. People in China don't believe in God. In Singapore, in many places, Japan, they don't believe in what you believe, and they are progressing. Until we change our attitude, one thing about religion is that it defies logic. It's something that, because the people who sit in the mosque or who sit in the churches, they are professors, learned people, and they'll be there. Somebody will be deceiving them. If churches have not fixed road, if this God we are serving has not, and I've said that God has created us as even angels, He's given us wisdom to actually be able to better where we are staying now. God is not making millionaires out of people. God, in short, the reason why Jesus Christ came is not to make us millionaires. Jesus Christ came so that He can actually give us salvation. That is the whole purpose why He came to die. Salvation, so that all of us perhaps we inherit that kingdom that He preached about. It's not whether we are going to have good road on earth, or whether we are going to drive private jet, or whether we are going to drive. And these pastors have been preaching for years now. It's only the pastors that is driving private jet. Members don't drive. But that's a lot of people have talked about religion. Let me not. Please, I want to talk about Edo. If you're from Edo, and you don't go home, I can understand why you're indifferent. I can understand why you're talking about agenda. I can understand that. But if you're from Edo and you still go home, like, how Edo is like, how the people in Edo is like, what is happening in Edo. If you're in Edo, like, you come home, you know what is happening, and you're indifferent about this election, or you're still talking about agenda, something is wrong with you. You're sick. You need mental evaluation. In short, you don't like your people. Let me tell you something. Like, there is no place aside from perhaps Benin City. Like, if you go to GRA, I've been in the south, like, for the past 2. I've been in the North Central. There is no place you go to in Edo, whether it's federal road, though, whether it's state road, though, whether it's community road, that you can have an easy access. There is no place. There is no such place that you go in Edo and you have a smooth ride. It's a death trap. Like, it's not just like it's a death trap. It's looking like as a places where people are abandoned. If you see schools look like I was asking people, is that place school? It's looking like maybe schools that government has abandoned and has built new school elsewhere. That is how most schools are
So,
looking
you know
like.
what happens? Did you make videos? Did you take pictures?
Yes, there are pictures that we took, and we are still going to take more. Like, this I'm saying is not like you stay at Saddam. If you come to Edo and you will not even be able to speak about it. It's terrible. Like this
It's only
Edo.
just 1 minute. It's just a shame, There's some guys that are respected in this movement going forward. I saw Obaseki making post of his transition, and somebody went on there saying, "You have been a very faithful governor." God damn it! But go on, please.
So the thing is that Edo people, I'm not talking about, because I'm not from Edo, right? It's not like every other place in Nigeria is actually good, right? I'm not saying that. But the truth is that Edo is positioned. Edo is an oil producing state. Like, it's positioned in, like, it's supposed to be one of those states that, in short, of all the states in the south, I think Edo is perhaps the worst. Like, it's like a place that's abandoned. If you come to Edo, the only thing happening here is like the Ekpoma, Ambrose Ali investing, and even the students that the Obaseki has made the school worse. Like, the school fees has increased, the hostels are not working, lights, everything is bad. If you're from Edo, please, you have to take this election seriously. You have to take it seriously because you might have a chance, to make a change. It's not so much that, oh, Olumide Awata is going to, wave a magic wand. But it's the fact that the people who has these two political parties, whether it's PDP or APC, who has had the opportunity of ruling this state, they've messed this place up. They've messed it up. You just need a leader. If you have a leader who will care about the people, went to market to see people on. See, I'm telling you this, I've been in a dose for the past. Nobody has talked to me about the agenda. Nobody. I've not spoken to anybody who said whether it's bike man or whether it's market man, whether people will see on the road and say, oh, the reason why we don't want to vote Labour Party is because it's the turn of Edo Central. Nobody says that. Nobody says. In short, the concern of people here, that is just their concern. What will happen in this election? Perhaps it might be voting our party. People might say, oh, because they voted before it. That's the only thing. Nobody has said agenda. Nobody has told me. I've not heard anybody say it's the turn of. In short, I saw one man who wore a cap, a certain cap. And somebody was telling me, oh, since they wore that cap, I should not. I went to the man and say, I wanted to give you this cap, but he wore this cap. The man said, I would throw this thing away. I just wear it because I want to cover my head. I had to give him our own. Nobody has told me. I mean, in Edo Central, I'm talking about Edo Central. The people, because you know why? They are not thinking about everywhere is bad. Like these people are overwhelmed. The road, like today when we are going out, it rained. The road we follow, we have to go and reverse. After we have like gone middle of the road, we have to reverse back. The DJ that will follow us got stuck in that road. Like every part of the road is bad. Like what's going on this state? Please, if you're from Edo, take this election seriously. And if you're from Edo, you've not gone home, please call your people at home and ask them what is going on. This place is looking terrible. Like it's looking terrible. I'm not saying it because I did a piece this evening. I said yes, politics comes with propaganda and all that. Every party wants to win, but it's beyond winning. It's beyond winning. Yesterday there was a boy who had kidney problem, and while we were at the market, we saw them coming to us and we send message to Olumide. He heard about it and he sympathized and he sent them 2.5 million. These people have been begging for this money all this while. Nothing has happened. But immediately Olumide sent that 2.5 million yesterday. When he sent that money, today, the APC candidate, to tell you how evil these people are. Today, he now paid 5 million. All this while he's been here, it's from this place, it's from Edo Center. But it's today because Olumide paid 2.5 million. He now said, oh, he want to send them 5 million. That's a market we went to. A market was built, not toilets. Saddam, a market was built. Market, big market, no toilets. These women, oh God, anyway, I don't want to talk about this. Please, if you're from Edo, please take this election seriously. I beg you in the name of God. You might have a real chance of making a change. I have so much to say, but I don't want to, hug the mic so much. I
Right.
appreciate you all, everyone on this space. I appreciate you. And everything you then said about, is just on point. But religious leaders or politicians, they are the same people. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Really love our best. Thank you. Thank you. Edu Niyara, now you go. Anyway, Suchat, thank you very much. Really love our best. Suchat, please go ahead. I will give you time actually because this place has to end by 12 actually. So, Suchat, please go ahead. Then I'll come to Jubijit.
I won't take too much of your time. Hi guys, good evening. I am so sorry I'm sounding this way. But one, you have to shout, you have to talk. I think sorry, I'm going straight to Edo. I'll come to this video. Walk past and share flyers, not just to carry Vuvuzela and be shouting Labour Party. Is one that I know that I stand and I have a discussion because you hear some side talks, you just be like, una never tire. I mean, una never hear say they don't increase fuel. NNPC for Benin they sell for 730. NNPC we're supposed to be the filling station, supposed to sell for the cheapest. So they sell for 730. You now imagine those ones where just be normal filling station, you don't reach 1,000 plus. Tire. They'll say that true, we don't really tire. As we ever best said, right? Since this whole campaign, especially in Edo Central, because we understand that Edo Central, they have the least numbers, understandable, right? So people will just be like, oh,
least number, probably like 50%. So we'll not put so much energy in that area and all that. Well, I would like to bust our bubbles. All of us, we have votes from those places. God, we have votes from those places. I would advise that the way we're putting a whole lot of energy in the south and in the north, we should do same in central. The way we're putting so much energy, say, oh, south, we should do same in central. The thing I just know that we're not doing so much is the fact that they are yet to know our candidates. Yes, they know Labour, but they're yet to know our candidates. Because the truth is, Labour Party in Edo Central, maybe they're just relaxed, or maybe they're actually following PDP to do a, what do you call it, ASA agenda. And if you notice, if you go to that side, you find out that ASA agenda is just noise online. We never said none. Nobody said, oh, now my brother time now. Me not carrying a banner, they go. None. The moment they see Labour Party, hey, Labour Party, we will vote for that last time now. No worry. We will not hear another side, but we vote now. They carry our votes. We'll come tell us, say, you know what, this one did different. Wait happen for national, not happen for state. Oh, you talk no wala. Like they were so welcoming. Initially, we had this notion of, oh, is what they call it, Edo Central. They don't want to hear anything Benin. They did see this, they're hostile, hostility, blah blah blah. So our mind was just like, we're going there to go and beg and talk. Do you get? But when we got there, are you talking about the EA kids, that Yaloja of markets? Are you talking about how they were excited to see us? You won't hear one EA kid telling you, say, sorry, you're saying that PDP get here, or sorry, you're saying that this one, like, una welcome, oh, thank you, Labour Party, oh, no wahala, may una go round, oh yeah, this one, oh yeah, God bless you now, don't worry, you go and say this, so at least una come, una do things, una do not be so other people will come with salt and 1,000 naira, like you get a whole lot. It was saying something. You need to see the roads. I don't know why Nigerians just sit down and they just want to deliberately reward failure. I have never seen that in my life before. You see, say person fail. You see, say political party fail, but you just see that say because saying that my tribe, he go see enter. Whether he fail, or whether they keep people, whether they cut people neck, or whether he decide to what they call it, not do road, or he not take people go school, he go enter. This is only this country. I've not seen it before in my life. That is why I said, I don't know if someone heard me. I said, you know what? Our churches, our pastors, the enablers. Because if you look at every person where we went to, they all wearing different kind of scapula. Is it that they're Catholic, or they're wearing Winner Chapel scapula, or they're wearing, you know, this one that everything is church. Until one woman now said, one woman mentioned and said, now only God feed change this country. Now I can say, how God wants to change her. I never hear say God will come down. I want to change. And not only God though, that's also others they pray, they go. Because it is irritating. I'm wrapping up, sorry. It is actually irritating to see man of God or men of God telling people, instead of them to tell them to hold their what they call it, politicians accountable, hold the people governing you, hold the people that you've given, you voted for. Instead of telling them be praying, instead of telling them come and buy soap, instead to say don't worry, they pray only you. Anything when they happen to other people, no go happen to you. What kind of thing is that? Somebody has said here, the way we call our politicians, we should call our religious leaders. Because I don't understand how you be, what they call it, you brainwashing your worshippers or be brainwashing your followers and be telling them that the only thing that they can do is to call God from heaven. Anyhow, Sha, I just want to say that Edo Central is actually LP. We just need to work harder to get all the votes from them. It will shock us that Osai Bovo Akwata will win from Edo Central. I'm telling you. I yield. Thank you very much to everyone who have been supporting. They really need material. If you want to donate, there's no one like you reach out. I say thank you again. I yield.
All right. Thank you very much, Switcher. Thank you very much. Thank you. Like Switcher said, me, I will say it. Edo, we need support. If you are not comfortable to support, please, it's fine. But I must give a big shout out now to a lot of people that supported this particular market storm. Era, of course, of violence, people. I know, everyone MNC, a lot of people came through. So thanks to all of you. So whatever you are seeing happening in Edo State now, it's part of you are part of it. And thanks to all of you. All right, Obedient. Now closing prayer you want to do so. Wait, us.
1 minute Nigerian.
We go ahead.
Edo State na island. Take it from me. There are about 5 roads. I'm not joking, no. There are about 5 entry points or 4 into Edo State. Warri, bad. Auchi, bad. Agbo, bad. Ugbowo, Lagos, bad. Edo is an island. Those of us who not to they travel like that again, we just feel say, oh, people they complain. The flood where the vehicle used entered carried. If you don't see incoming virus before, incoming virus now 6'3", water reaching waist.
As in due obedience and incoming, they swam. You know when you swim in the water, bring out the when they inside water, it was terrible today, but kudos to them. Without them, waiting for do, even me, sir, we went enter the flood, but they say me not carry me.
For water to reach 6'3" person waist, almost through incoming virus. That's how bad, and that is an access route. See, you see how Lagos was. You see the confidence APC had in Lagos. That's what PDP and APC have in Edo Central. Edo Central is for the taking. Labour Party go collect them. So I beg, a lot of people that may have, I'm saying this, I'm giving this plea to those that have family members voting in Edo Central. The problem we have in Edo Central is not support. ESA agenda is a construct that does not exist. It's just a social media construct. Convince your people to come out to vote. The problem we have in Edo State right now is that people are still having that voter apathy. They are bothered that their votes will not be defended. But Olumide Akpata, I put it, this is me saying it on public space. PDP is afraid of him. PDP, I know of the fact that PDP is afraid that he would defend the vote and he will shock them. So what we need to do is to convince people to come out to vote. Don't tell them vote Labour Party, they will vote Labour Party. We just need to convince our family members that are in Edo State to come back home or come outside and vote. That's it. Edo State is in shambles. I've not been to this part of Edo State for 2 years now because I've been afraid of the bad road. But coming here, it is horrible. It is horrible. People are not living a good life. Oh, I know the person when gets to tell who they stay now obedient, so I don't cast them. But imagine you cannot get clean water out of your bucket from borehole. It is milky water. It is milky water. So I beg, convince your people to vote. That's all I can say. You don't need to tell them to vote Labour Party. They don't tire for APC. PDP is disgusting to them. We did not get pushback in any of the places we went to. We did not get pushback. And these are places that the candidates are from. These are the places we've been to. No pushback. We were celebrated, we were welcomed, and we were given guarantees that they would defend our votes. Thank you very much for coming in. Good night, guys.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jobiden. And special big shout out to all of you guys that are dedicating on ground. All of you guys are putting this together. Everybody has their role in all this, and I'm glad that everybody switch out. If you try this thing, I switch out, but I don't know if you carry. Why are you running? Why are you running? Eh?
I beg, I'm pushing a motion that may switch her name turn to Mama. Now Mama should be for Bini. Mama. They call her Mama.
Mama. I don't now Mama, I be like now Mama I go to call switch out now. Because you have like
Mama,
they call Mama. Mama, no worry, Mama, no worry. Go on now. Anyway, thanks to you guys, and let me re-echo this support again for you. Please, let's first of all, like Jobiden said, and that's true. For those of us that remembered, the first place, well, Olumide Akpata, not the first place, the only time he had come to violence space, just at that beginning phase. That was one thing. I knew the first crisis or the first challenge, or not crisis rather, the first challenge would be to even get people to come out. And I'm glad he has been able to at least excite people enough. But we also can help um, motivate people as much as we can. It's very important. That's the first thing, because like Joe Biden said, actually, if people come out to vote, default setting, Olumide Akpata will win Edo State. If people come out to vote, just default setting, not too much push. The reason why all this push is not necessary is because um, the voter party is kind of going to be evident. So we want to see how we can make sure that we optimize as many people that come out to ensure that the vote for Olumide Apata. But it's also left for us to ensure that we tell people. Then I that support in any way you can. Like I always say, if you need wear the print cap, you can tell me. Saros DM is not far away. Future DM not far away. I will go and call them, or you can reach out. If you reach out to them, they no reply. You come and meet me. I will tell you. They will link you to the person you pay. You don't. All they need is to go and carry it. Money does not have to exchange hands. You deal with whoever. If you even have your own printer, better. Or if you have your own person to deal with, I must actually take time now to actually give shout out as well to this one of us, Takanda Kena, is always doing this. Some of you probably she's not always on speed, but she's always like she just does this. Like she doesn't wait for anybody. She pays like a printer. She just and send it. She's probably doing a one woman campaign. I don't know how she does it. So big shout out to her as well. Thanks to everybody. I think this like you know I like the fact that Edo people decided to say, even if Edo not decide the topic, but like Saddam said, Edo is default a topic, is a de facto topic of violence space until that election. So even if it's not written on the topic, it's going to always be part of the topic. So thanks everybody for coming today. Today's space was quite diverse and a lot was said. Um, Focus today was religious leaders, and I think this is going to be a series where we talk about different sector. If maybe we finish, we'll come back again, start time for religious leaders again. So it's something that we need to do. There are different. You go still touch everybody. If you will touch us, all of us, so don't be happy for today. So please ensure you do your part, and please again support Edo State. But finally, for hand over to Saddam, I want to remind you guys again. Tomorrow in the evening, Parallel Fad, they are going to be having Senator Ireti Kingibe. I feel like that space is one that, first of all, Abuja residents should be the first people to arrive at the auditorium. Then, secondly, or equally importantly, every obedient to at least listen and get to also hear from her. I know a lot of us expected much, but to be honest, these people they are doing as much as they can. Of course, they can always do better. So let's see how that goes. But on Monday, like I've said earlier, Olumide Akpata is going to be on 1MMC to come and beg us to support him. So please, obedient, ex-obedient, men are not going to be saying our mouth with the make, will not be cho on Monday. Let's come around and support Olumide Akpata on that space. All right, on that note, thank everybody for coming. Apologies to those that I think we brought up as many as we could actually. Apologies to those that we couldn't bring up. Hopefully on tomorrow. Okay, yeah, tomorrow most of us will meet at Parallel Fast Space, but Violent Space we'll meet again on Tuesday. Don't forget tomorrow and Monday space. All right, Saddam, to you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Well, me, Nigeria. Thank you, guys. Thank you, every one of you that came out again today. That stayed us from the beginning to the very end of the space. Thank you to all those that spoke, all those that contributed, all those that did not get the chance to contribute. Also, thank you for your patience and your resilience. It's unfortunate that we could not bring everybody. Thank you, Eradiri and the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate of Bayelsa that joined us today on Space. Thank you so much. Next week, we'll be having more candidates going forward. Thank you to every one of you that came out today. Um, I think today's topic is as Wellbeing just said, is going to be is the beginning of a series of spaces that we'll be having. I'll be talking about the enemies working against the growth of this country. It is multifaceted. There are different dimensions and layers to these people. They do not want this country to work. And I think I'm not happy. Honestly speaking, I think we might even do this religious leaders next week because today's topic was mixed. We did not have enough time to drum on this. We did not do enough exposure for me. I'm not satisfied with what we said today because we had a guest on the space today. I think we will still reinforce or come back on this, but next week we'll go back again to different topics. But as I always say on this platform, Nigerian issues don't ever finish. We can many people say they talk. If we are not talking, I'm 100% certain that many things will not even be happening today. Many Nigerians would have moved on, but we are trying to make sure that this conversation keep staying on the front burner. A platform is there for Nigerians to talk. A platform is there for Nigerians to speak issues that are meant to be mainstream but are not mainstream. Left for these guys in power, Nigerians are flexing. Nigerians are living in El Dorado. Nigerians are having the best of time. Nigerians are having their best moments ever. But the reality is a stark difference. And it's important because platforms like this are listening to across the world. Different people from different demography of the world are listening to us as we speak on these platforms, and they are seeing the reality of what Nigerians are passing through. Because when we come out here on these spaces, we have 10s, 20s, 30s, over 40 to 50 speakers from different parts of the country speaking reality, speaking truth to power. They might not see their tweets, but they hear their voices, and it is something that resonates. So, no matter the kind of propaganda this government, a government built on propaganda, a government that are masters of propaganda, a government that are going to rule Nigeria on propaganda, that are ready to lie and not just propaganda, destructive politics, politics of bigotry, politics of division. They are ready to do everything to see us not united, to see us divided and fighting while they keep stealing. At the same time, stifling the media. The media will never report the true nature of this country to the outside public. We are the ones that are meant to be the ones championing these things, speaking out as loud as possible as we can. Let the world know that this government in power is a terrible government. A disaster is happening in Nigeria as we speak right now. There's absolute crisis in every facet of the country, and if we keep quiet, honestly speaking, nobody's going to come and help us. There's no savior coming from anywhere. There is no heroes. Every single one of us should be should be a flag boy. Every single Nigeria out there should be a flag boy. Every single Nigeria up on social media should be a flag boy. And if you're in opposition and you don't understand the role of an opposition, you are part of the problem. Many of us do not understand these things. We think it's just banter and tweets and Bibles and the rest. There is serious chaos in Nigeria. People are dying every single day of hunger. People are dying every single day of bad health care. People are kidnapped every single day. Our problems are enormous. And it is so bad that at the worst time ever in Nigeria, the government is flexing. Why are they flexing? Because we have failed in our duties as a position, and I hope we all stand up to this reality and do better as a people. Well, thank you very much, everyone that came out today. As I always say, Nigerian problems will never end until we start to end it ourselves. We'll be back again, God's willing, same station on same time on Tuesday, God's willing, next week. Please, you can join for tomorrow. The federal minister of the FCT, Senator Ireti Kingibe, will be with the Power Facts team tomorrow on Space. Please come out tomorrow and show them support. Also on Monday, our brothers from the 1 million match space will be hosting Olumida Pata also. Please come out and show them support. Let's keep building little blocks by little blocks. Hopefully we get to start holding these people accountable. They say we don't bring them on spaces. It is now time for them to come and speak to Nigerians, and we start with Ireti. Hopefully going forward we can see how much of them we can bring on spaces. Thank you guys for always coming out and always supporting us on this platform. As I always say, God bless you guys. It's always a pleasure doing this with you guys. Many of you have reached out to me about Jimmy. Jimmy is fine. He's just taking a break right now. And he also wishes you guys well and love and light from his side also. Same with N6 also. N6 is having a boot camp right now, so he's not on the platform. He reached out also and is also wishing you guys love and light. We'll be back, God willing, next week as a family, stronger and better. Thank you, my brother, William Nigeria, for the sacrifices, for always coming out to do this with me. Thank you so much, Mommy Bolanle. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Joe Obedient, my brother. God bless you guys for the work you guys are doing in Edo State. Sweet child, you are one hell of a person. Thank you. Thank you for your sacrifices. God bless you guys. You guys are the heroes, man, of this movement, because we can always just come up online and talk and everything, but you guys are putting the work on the street. There is nothing. That's why no matter what they want to tell me, if you're putting in the work on the street, man, I can overlook any other thing you're doing because you're truly walking the talk. God bless you guys, man. My brother's flag child, flag boy, God bless you. I hope you got the prayers to your DM. I hope you got receive the prayers. Please stay motivated with that one. It is part of the process. If you're pushed as a Nigerian and you want to help somebody, people are begging your DM, please carry that money and go and give flag boy. Give it to him. God will bless you for giving him than to give someone that is in your DM begging you that hunger want to kill them. Let them go out and protest. Let them go out and shout to the government. Please let us stop enabling bad behaviors in this country. We are part of the problem. Anytime you give somebody money that should be out there trying to say something,